shit.
And we're back. It's another outstanding episode of Square Table Degenerates Podcast. I'm your host, Joey Edibles. We're joined today by comedian Scott. Welcome to the party, Scott.
Hey, great. How are you doing?
Good.
Happy to be here.
Fuck yeah.
Already having an awesome time.
We had a great pre-show. Like, it was one of the best pre-shows we had in a long time. Probably since we had that dude from Menace to Society. I remember that pre-show. That was good.
That was a good show.
Good fucking show. It's a great pre-show. Now, Scott, explain your full name. It's W. Scott, and then pronounce your last name so I don't mispronounce it.
It's Wene. W. Scott Wene.
W. Scott Wene. WSW. So, like, west, southwest. If you're looking,
That's right.
if you're following at home. Okay. So, what does the W stand for? William?
William.
Now, I know another guy. His name is William Scott. He goes by Scott. What is it with people with the middle name Scott who go by Scott instead of William? Why did you do this?
So as my parents explained it to me, they couldn't think of a middle name that sounded good with Scott as a first name.
Okay.
That was the explanation.
So
they were trying to think of Scott something Wene. Scott something Wene.
So did you start going by Scott, or did
No, they called me Scott.
So for your whole life you've been W. Scott?
Yep.
Like H.R.S. Pro?
Yeah.
You own any oil fields?
Well, actually, no, not W. Scott, just Scott. But it was like people that didn't know me would like call me Bill.
Okay.
That was I lost a job one time because of that.
Because people were calling you Bill?
No, I had a job as a bagger. It was I think it was my second job ever. And
welcome to the party, Rome. Mojo's in the house.
so I'm working at this grocery store, and every week I would go up there and I'd see what shift I had, and it'd say Scott, right? And so the woman that made the schedule out, she went on vacation, and so some other woman filled in, and because my first name's William. And then she went up on the schedule and she put Bill. And so I would check the schedule. I was like, fuck, who's this guy Bill getting all my shit, man? And then I didn't go into work for like a week, and then they fired me. So
now, to Scott's right is Don. Your left, maybe? Am I right? I don't know. We don't do directions. We do weed. What's up, Don? How you been, man?
So much for the no references there, Joe. Why do you always say we're back? Like, you never go anywhere.
Exactly. Well, we're back live.
We go places.
Hold on one second.
You literally sit there with your thumb up.
Hold on one
ass.
second. Sorry about that. We had technical issues with the studio audience. It happens. So, when did you first meet Scott? Was it tonight? First time ever?
No, we've done some shows together.
Where did you first do a show? How many shows you done?
I have no clue.
Giovanni's was one, and then there was there a Paradise Island?
You were at Giovanni's the night the fight broke out.
Man, well, that's every fucking night. You got to be a little bit more specific.
There's a lot of fights at Giovanni's, bro.
The one where they jumped the railing and was like...
The one where the two guys were fucking swinging on each other?
Yeah, well, the dude jumped the railing and he was like, do it now, bitch. And the guy was like, okay, bing, 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 and dropped him.
All I know is I looked outside and there were some guys going at it. I'm like, wow, that's fucking terrible.
He is a quack, a duck hunt.
I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen in the middle of a set. A fight is up there.
Yeah.
So who was on stage when the fight broke out?
I don't know. It wasn't me. Nobody was fucking paying attention.
And just people start fucking going at it and shit. That's great.
Yeah. There was a guy sitting right next to the stage, and he would not turn around and look at me when I was up there. So I grabbed the microphone and I talked right into the back of his neck for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, when people get drunk, we'll get into some drunk comedy shows later, like in terms of people who get really drunk at shows. But like,
I did not get really drunk at shows. It was a one-time thing,
bro. You were a headliner. You're supposed to give me a headline in the set, bro. You gave me 5 minutes.
You should have dude. I should have never had a microphone.
I tried taking it from you, like, no, bro, I got it, man. I was like, you sure you want to do
You
this?
never tried to take it from me. That's a fucking lie.
Bro, I covered up the mic like this. I was like, bro.
Dude, you're out of your fucking mind.
Are you sure you got this? Are you sure you got this? He's like, yeah, man, I got this. I'm a fucking honorable male. I want to defend my domain right now.
This dude's making this
and then
whole fucking story.
Then somebody went live and we was recording him and shit. And he's like, yo, fuck the world. Fuck my wife. She can smash wife. She can suck my balls. I'm out. And they dropped the mic. That's it. It's supposed to be a half hour.
Pretty accurate, honestly.
It was like 30 seconds.
There was
Did you-
way more
Jose,
to that.
Did you really drop the mic? Because
No.
that's
He didn't actually drop the mic. It wasn't our mic. It was the VFW's mic. It was. I mean, in hindsight, it was a fun story because it was a really fucking rocking night. It was the last cool thing we did before, the thing we don't want to talk about. Hits. Oh, I think we passed the. Let me do some shout outs. Ooh, it worked right there. Let me do some shout outs. Here we got in the chat. Romy, shout out Romy. Joe Grohl's in the house. What up? What up? Carla represents.
I mean, I'm sure.
Lone Star, Chad, cheers, buddy. Shout out Mojo, Colin, chilling.
I was in the middle of saying something.
What was we talking? Oh, we talked about the set you did.
Yeah, we're back.
We don't give a shit, dude.
Yeah.
Ever.
Nope.
We're back.
I mean, I'm sure
We're
we've all
back.
had those sets that weren't the greatest.
Oh, yeah.
Mine was 100 times that, though.
I mean, you have to have the one.
Like, oh, it was bad.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, Pat was probably even worse. If we're being honest, we love you, Pat, if you're listening. But man, Pat got up there and he was like, his intro is supposed to be related to the fact that he looks like the fucking dwarf guy from Game of Thrones with the Peter Dinklage. It was just like him in the face and everything. And
Tyrion Lannister.
he went up there and he was supposed to drop his. I know what you're thinking. I look like Tyrion Lannister, but I mean, he just went up there and he fucking froze. And he did like a minute and a half, and he what a fucking laugh, the poor guy. I felt so.
And
People,
he's not bad.
Right,
Like,
it's funny.
he's just very young in the game and hasn't figured it out.
dude, so
But he's not bad.
and fucking like 8 people bought him sympathy drinks, dude. They were fucking lined up. I think he got fucking at least $40 worth of beer and liquor out of that fucking night.
Oh, we were all hammered that
That was
night.
great. We got everybody fucking high as hell too. We had some great edibles that night. Lucha. Oh, Dorito and Lucha Capre's in the house. What's up from California? Hell yeah.
But yeah, we've done Paradise a couple times together. We've done.
Romy was talking about Paradise. Is that over? Where's that? Like Garfield or somewhere? Where's that? at?
Euclid.
Euclid. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Milton Wiley runs that.
It's not a bad venue. It's a decent show. It's always a good crowd.
Yeah. Always pulls a good crowd.
I haven't been.
And they come to laugh, though. I'm in Euclid every friggin' week.
Well, you know somebody in the Euclid. You visit all the time. Man, the
I
last
also
time
work in Euclid.
the last time I
I
was
drive
in
by Euclid occasionally.
the Clid, as they call it. They should call it the Clid. That'd be cool. Sure, it says the Clid and graffiti. People buy that. Dude, the last time I was in Euclid, like really seriously.
Let me
Euclid,
tell you about our merch.
Right.
This dude made a shirt,
Man's marketing
Spelled
for Euclid
degenerates
over
wrong.
here.
Yeah, I spelled the name of the show wrong on the shirt. I really high.
and it took us a year to figure out that
Yeah,
that
that's
shirt
the-
was spelled
That's the
wrong.
funny. It was a dude. It shows like 1 through
Dude,
30.
they just became collector's items, man.
Yeah, but it's literally hanging back there for like
Yeah, it's the
a
first
good
30.
year of the
The
show.
first 30 shows.
And
is
then my
like
boy
right
looks
there.
back and he's like, dude, that's spelled wrong.
Right, we're both
hilarious.
like, well, I spelled it. Yeah, but I call it the classic misspelled shirt. It's available for purchase online. If you're serious, I'll send you a link. Don't ask me to send me a link if you're not serious. I'm not going to link it now because none of you guys are going to buy it. If you do, I'll link it.
And Joe, I took time making a new logo. Why has it not seen the light of day?
I don't know because I forgot where it was. It was like fucking. We talked like 100 because you guys don't know. We have a show group chat. There's 6 of us in group
I
chat.
will.
And dude, fucking Don sent us a logo in the group chat. And it was like a while ago. And we
It's
talked.
on our Facebook page, ass.
Is that the one you did where it says mail and thing? You can't read that on a shirt, bro. It's way too.
It's not for a shirt. It's a logo for the show, not for a fucking
Well,
shirt.
we need colors to pop. That pink on that fucking Aurora Borealis.
Nobody's putting on pink.
Hell yeah. What's it gonna be? A rumbling in the tummy
It's like a
tonight?
pink shirts.
Dude, what's wrong with the pink shirt?
No grown ass man that's not Joe is gonna wear a pink shirt.
That's
the-
wrong.
the
I wear a
shirt-
fucking pink
the
shirt,
shirt-
man.
here-
I wear the
here's-
fuck out of a pink
here's
shirt.
the
I make a
ultimate-
pink shirt look fucking good.
Pink shirts are amazing.
Now, are we talking salmon or pink?
I don't give a fuck.
Right?
Two different
This
things,
shirt-
though.
I make this. Well, this shirt makes me look better. 'cause
That shirt has a cat with a gun on it. It says
Yeah.
"Arm the animals." That's cool, man. I dig that. And I know a guy who has one of those guns, the AR-15s. They're legit. But the pattern for the shirt, Don, check it. I want the Aurora Borealis pattern here. Check. I'll show you the pattern I'm talking about.
It's like a tie dye pattern.
Well, it's sort of like a tie-dye pattern, but it's like the Northern Lights. This one right here. See that? Where was it? This one right here. See that? I want to get that as the print.
I can't see it, Joe. You got a guy with one eye across the room, trying to make him see a little
Well,
fucking square. How's that gonna work?
Just Google Aurora Borealis, and that's what it looks like. But I want that as the all-over print, and then just STD podcast. That's the main shirt. I just like 1,000 shirts we could do. No big deal at all. You know what I mean? Merch is where
I do agree with that.
There's exactly people like the classic style. People like the the ridiculousness. Some people like the nudity that we never have on the show.
You know what I want to do? I want to license a can opener.
I like it. Oh, they got these lighter.
Why?
Because of my show, Cooking with Scott.
Well, that's right. We're gonna get it. Oh yeah, for those of you who don't know, Scott is right here. Scott Wene is the guest this week.
Actually, not a bad idea.
He has a channel. All right, hey, check it out.
Like we couldn't get away with a can opener. They'd be like, what the fuck are we doing with a can opener?
In the description of this show is a link to Scott's channel. Click on it and subscribe. He's got 19 subs now. It's called W. Scott Wene, is the name of his channel. He hasn't actually named the channel yet. The title of the show is Cooking with Scott, which is the title of this show. And we'll get into that a little bit because we're just chit-chatting before we get into the main show kind of thing. You know what I mean? So what was we talking about? Oh, Scott's channel. No, you was talking about something before Scott's channel, and then what led down that line?
You guys were talking about merchandise, and so
And
I saw that as a great opportunity to plug my show in an organic sort of way.
That's true. And I saw these. No, I don't know what I was going to talk about. There's these can opener lighter things I saw online. It's like a half can opener, and it's a lighter. It's a shape, lighter like this. But I was thinking that'd be a fucking STD podcast, and that way people can think about it when they're drinking their beer and smoking their bud. I was kicking it around. I'm really digging. I like the ashtray idea too. So ashtrays are a fucking way to go. Because people keep ashtrays forever.
Rolling trays, there's all kinds of shit.
Fuck yes, dude. Ooh, rolling trays, I like that. So,
Uh-huh.
All
Sounds like a
right.
theme.
Ooh, check this out. Did you guys see
Pretty
the new?
much.
Dude, you should open a fucking store.
Check this out. Did you guys see the new? I know Don hasn't seen this. The new video I had for the show. Check this out. Everybody listen, this is cool. Took me an hour to make this.
Woo! STDs!
That's all we're shouting the show out, bro. That's cool. All right.
Took you an hour for that.
Yeah, it was like maybe about 15 minutes. Well, I had to bring the video down, and it was like right at the end, so I had to pinch it in on fucking online video.
Dude, what happened to our theme song?
The theme song.
The intro.
We still got the intro.
Where you have us cutting out, the little clips of us.
All right, we can play that. All
Like,
right.
you never play that anymore. That's fucking
Well,
advertisement for our show.
Well, you know why I didn't play it? Because, like, you remember when we had Travis Irvine on?
Yeah.
We played that, and then we were just sitting around kind of just like, and it just kind of felt awkward. That's why I like the organic.
All right, maybe when we're doing an interview, then we don't do it. But when we're all hanging out just shooting the shit, play the intro to the show.
Whoa, shit, I actually hit the show on the thing. Oh, shit. All right, here we go. We got to start the show. So, we already introduced Scott.
We
Scott,
already started the show.
We already started the show. We were just chit-chatting, and I did the introductions, then we went to Don.
Some opening banter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like the monologue, but in audio form. Kind of.
So how was New York, man?
New York was fun, bro. It was, we went to Terminal, no, I was Cleveland. Empire State Building, we went on the 86th floor. I went live from there on Facebook. Went to Central Park quite a bit. Saw the shit. Took the bus ride and, saw everything. Saw Grant's tomb, where the Polo Grounds were. Went up and saw Heavy D's grave. He's in a mausoleum. He's not in like an outdoor thing. You gotta walk up the steps. If you're going to Ferndale Cemetery, it's up in
Heavy D is in a mausoleum.
Yeah.
You can look at him.
You can't look at it's just a regular.
It's where they put them in the wall.
Right.
Do you think that they buried him in those like Coke shirts from the 90s?
Well, the one thing
that's what I remember.
The one thing I did notice is that because it was here, I'll show you a picture. Let me get on Facebook.
He was the original overweight lover, and he was in the house.
Girls, they love me. I'm an overweight lover, Heavy D. It's a fucking what a great.
Joe is obsessed with
I
like
love Heavy
one
D,
hit
dude.
wonders and.
What are you talking about? Heavy D had a ton of hits that I
Name
can't
two
name
songs.
right
Name
now.
two.
No, I could sing some
Roses
shit.
are red,
If you-
violets are blue. That one. That's a great fucking song.
If you put them on, I could sing all the words to every one of his songs, and I'd not know the names. But look, man, I don't know what I had for fucking breakfast.
One
Joe
My brain
Joe
only
pulls some
holds
of the
so much
weirdest
shit.
rappers out of his ass. He's
He's
like, I got
Heavy
this
D's
dude
not
for the
weird.
show.
How's Heavy D weird? He's fucking mainstream.
Heavy D is pretty awesome, dude.
What was it, Mr. Big Stuff? Mr. Big Stuff. Hey, fuck, who do you?
But here, check this out. I'll cast this too. But notice how Scott, you can see that.
I can't see shit, man. I'm telling you.
Well,
My
You
eyes
keep
aren't
trying to
that
do it
good.
on that. Why don't you put it on the TV, man?
I could cast. Oh, yeah, hold on. Well, let me cast the YouTube part on that so that way you guys can see that part. We're what they call in the business vamping. For those of you who don't know what vamping means, it means you do whatever you want, whenever you want. Studios. All right, I'm going to connect you guys up there. We'll have to mute it though, because I don't want to, get secondary and tertiary audio issues. You know what I mean? There's muted. All right. I'm about to share the Heavy D funeral, the Heavy D thing here.
I'm not used to that.
What?
Seeing myself.
Yeah, it's
Is
weird.
that cool? It's
Yeah.
just we're TV stars, bro.
It's like,
That's fucking amazing.
At the first couple times you do it, you're like, and then there's a delay too. Watch. I'm
Yeah,
doing this, it'll be popping up here in a second.
yeah,
But the one thing I noticed here, it'll pop up here on the thing in a second. But if you notice, Heavy D's grave is on the bottom, and I think that's because he was over 350 pounds, so that's why it is.
So what you're saying is he was too fat for people to lift him up to the next.
Well, I mean, take a look. You guys can see. If you look at the, how he's, on the bottom there. I mean, that thing's stacked 5 high. Like there's 5 plots above that. It's all a big.
He probably ordered that ahead of time. Therefore, he got to pick his spot.
yeah, he probably.
I'm pretty sure they didn't go, fuck it, we're just sliding him in the bottom.
All right,
You know-
we don't want to lift this guy up on the scissors, Jack. We're just gonna put him on the bottom.
Like
'cause
Coke
he's-
bottle shape where that cross is.
That'd be great. But Heavy D, rest in peace, my brother, man. It's fun.
All right, so let's get into this with you, man.
This what?
Oh,
Review.
yeah. So
We did a
where were you born in Ohio?
No.
Where were you
No.
born?
I was born in on Barksdale Air Force Base
Shreveport.
in Bossier City, Louisiana. Shreveport is right across the river.
Okay.
Represent.
There's a great casino in Shreveport called Sam's Town. You ever been?
No, there isn't. There's no.
You don't like Sam's Town, dude?
I don't like.
the-
I don't go to casino. I mean, I'm used to. I tell you, I don't like them because in the state of Louisiana, like this is gonna get nerdy. I'm gonna get some nerd shit all over you. Those casinos fucking rob education systems in the state.
No, down in Louisiana.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
They're fact they use the proceeds from a business that could literally turn its engine on and go down the fucking river. That's what they do.
No, ours. Well,
I'm not a big fan of them. That's why I moved up here.
Well, the thing when we went down, I went to in 08. I went down to Dallas and visited my buddy, and we went to visit my other buddy who was in
So you
Baton
mean
Rouge.
riverboat casinos?
That's allowed.
Okay.
No, we went up to.
I thought he meant an
There's a-
actual casino.
There's the big
It's
river. The
awesome.
big river right there. What's that? The Red River's right there.
Yeah.
And it goes right through. It's huge. It's pretty cool pictures that you can get from there. It's a good, cool spot. The river makes. But the Sam's Town Casino, what I loved about it is that they didn't have the card sorting machines and none of that fancy electronic crap. They'd take a deck of 52 and shuffle that fucker and throw them out like it was fucking, the old West. It was,
See, that's called reducing your overhead cost.
very true,
Right
very
there.
true. Like that
Why should I
electronic
have to
machine.
buy a machine when I could just have a person that's disposable?
Dillum.
You know?
I actually came out in Shreveport. I think I did like $200 that day playing something for
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you, man. Remember my aunt used to go to those things? Dude, she can just throw a fucking nickel on the ground and win some shit, you know?
Nice.
I
If
can't
you're
do
out there
anything.
right now and you're
That's why
watching,
I
you haven't
don't do this.
subscribe now. Everybody subscribed, I would imagine, but tell your friends to subscribe because the more people who subscribe, the more fun it is for me and everybody you can see here on the STD. PODSCAST. All right. Don likes that man, but look at that. Some fucking corrupt style fucking freestyle right there. Corrupt would never
And
probably
the
come on show.
CLID.
Exactly. Fucking Donnie down over there. So, at what points did you? So you a fucking Air Force back then? Is that your deal?
I am. Actually, it's funny is that both my parents, my mom's from Ashtabula,
Mhm.
and my dad is from Orwell. But I was born in Louisiana. He was in the Air Force. And we did a little traveling and then ended up back in Louisiana. So
Now, what was your dad's AFSC?
I don't know.
You have no idea. Huh? Now, was your dad in any of the conflicts prior to?
So my dad, this is the story that he would tell me is, so my dad was going to be drafted. This might be boring.
No.
So my dad was going to be drafted, but for Vietnam, but rather than be drafted, he decided to join the Air Force. And when he decided to join the Air Force, he said, what's the longest school that you have? And they said cryptology, which is like codes and shit.
Right.
So he
crypto
took-
linguist or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so my dad, was smart enough to, avoid the draft by learning a skill that would help him later on in life.
Yeah.
And so he had a secret clearance, and it was like really shitty because he would go to work, and then my mom would get a call, and he was like, "Hey, I'm going somewhere, and I'll be back sometime." And that was it, and then
That's back
Yeah.
before cell phones and internet, obviously. So
Yeah,
it's like
so-
it's going to
so-
middle of nowhere and shit.
it's one of the reasons why I joined the Air Force myself, was that I wanted to finally find out what my dad did, right? And my dad was working at the Pentagon, and I became a law enforcement officer, right? So that I could get a security clearance, find out what my dad did, and we were at the Pentagon, and he goes, "I got to get something for my office." And I was like, "Cool, I get to go to his office. Finally going to find out what my dad does, right?" And so he gets to his office. We're down in this basement, and he punches this code in this fucking lock thing, and he goes in, and I start to follow him, and he's like, "No, you have to stay out here." And they fucking close the door in my face, and I was like, "The next 4 years is going to be shitty." Yeah.
So when did your dad? How long did your dad serve for? Was it 4 years? Or did
No, I served for like 4 years, and my dad did like 26.
oh, so you did? They're all 26 active duty, the straight time
Yeah.
duty. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
Retired as Chief Master Sergeant.
So how old were you when he retired?
I don't know, like 30.
Oh, so you were well out the house. You would.
Oh yeah, dude. They started young. My parents started young. That's what they did back then.
Well, where did you
Back
go from
then-
Barksdale? Where was your dad station then? Where's your trajectory go?
Well, my parents split up at that point, and my dad went off and around the place, and we just stayed at Barksdale.
Okay.
And you never
no,
found out what he was doing.
Nope. I still don't know. I know these things. I know that at some point he's worked on White House communications. I know that he's worked on the space shuttle, and that's all I know. And he's worked at the Pentagon, and that's it. And that when he retired from the military, he walked out the door, and that on Friday and Monday he walked back in as a consultant and stayed there another 20 years, and then retired again.
Yep. I mean, I'm not saying a lot of people do that, but yes, a lot of people do that.
I mean, he fucking played that system right. So.
Well, if you can't use the system, exploit the system. That's
Exactly.
how I look at it. I mean, people are like, oh, what do you got all these things, all this government money? Well, I mean, somebody's got to take it. Fuck it. So you were just chilling in Louisiana the whole time. What did you do down there? It's hot as fuck in Louisiana. It's so hot.
Yeah, I mean, I want to say, I did things that normal kids did. I fucking bought beer illegally, and
Now, was it 18 back then? Could you be 18 in Louisiana back then and buy it?
oh yeah, so you could be 18, and then what they did in the so I came up right at that time, right? So at 18, they had just changed it to 21. Right, but I just went into the military. In the military, I don't fucking care. You might get shot. Here, have a beer.
Right.
Nobody fucking cards nothing. But when I came back, the state of Louisiana, I got stationed. My first place of station was Barksdale, Louisiana.
Just randomly?
Yeah, just right back at home. In the state of Louisiana, the government, federal government said, hey, if you don't change your laws to 21, we're not going to give you any highway money.
I remember that.
Right. And so they said, okay, we're going to change it to 21, except for private clubs. So every bar became a private club, and you could buy a one-night membership at the age of 18 because they could set their own age limit at that point. So I never really went without a drinking age.
Nice. Well, it's kind of like that growing up in
It's kind of
Cleveland,
bad
man.
for me at this point in my life.
Well, in Cleveland,
I would say so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don
Jesus
can
Christ.
attest to this, dude. In Cleveland, you just fucking you can get beer anywhere in the 90s from the store.
You could just walk in this.
Literally, I can fucking. I mean, I can name the stores now because they're long since closed. But Elmira Beverage on 98th and Lorraine, Tompkins Deli on 117th and Linnet. Fucking
Amy's on 32nd and Payne.
there's that place in
Federal
store.
on 38th and Payne.
What about those are all East Side spots? But that place over on 85th.
Because I grew up on the east side,
Obviously. This that place at 85th and store or 85th store. You can buy it. And that's just 3 years off.
I don't know any of these places.
Well, you grew up.
They were
on
just
farm.
spots you
Yeah.
could walk into and get whatever you wanted. They didn't.
Oh, in
ID, they
Louisiana,
didn't care.
the drinking age is if you could get money on the counter.
Right.
I mean, if you can get it up there. I mean, I've never been fucking carded. I don't know what even that's like. And when I first got into the military, you have to be around a bunch of people that come from all different places. And I would hear people talk about all they would have to go through to get beer, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh yeah, you got to hire a fucking bum off the street,
Man, you got to
Buy him a bottle.
Louisiana.
Hey, Bobby Kittens.
wait 3 houses down, and hope you don't run the other
You
way.
know, there's a lot of bad press that Louisiana gets, and it's all true. I mean, there's no doubt.
The one thing,
It
I
is.
mean, I spent just a little bit of time back in the way. But man, the one thing about New Orleans, at least, I mean, New Orleans is kind of a microcosm of the whole state. It's like, there's just such complete debauchery. Like, but it's so fucking, it's just sad kind of, you know what I mean? Like, you'll see a guy get drunk, and he's just so drunk, he'll just sit there and you can tell he's been drinking for like 8 days, and he's like, nobody cares,
Yeah.
he just walk right by him. And people in fucking, ritzy clothes look like they're going to a Southern Ball, just walk right by him, not giving a fuck. So it's like so classy in some spots, but so fucking just sad in other spots. I mean, I don't know if all Louisiana's like that, but man, that's how New Orleans struck me. Fuck.
So, you were in New York, right?
Hmm?
Recently.
Yeah, just last weekend.
Where were you? Did you go down Times Square?
Yeah, we're fucking the hotel stayed. It's called Hampton Inn Times Square. We're right there.
So, Chad and I am Chad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Shout out to I am Chad. You should follow him and watch all his shit. He's fucking awesome. So I am Chad. We're there with Mayo.
I don't know why we haven't had him out on the show yet.
Yeah, he was supposed to do the one show. He probably gets tired and forgets about shit. He was supposed to do one show and he forgot about it.
Could be.
It happens, bro.
Kind of happens with the comedians, I think.
Well, it's just it's the theme in our business. I mean, we're a weed-based show. I mean, it happened with Volume 10. Remember, we get high and forgot the show. She Ricky Williams fucking got high and forgot a half hour of the show, which really annoyed me. And I was panicking. And then right in the middle of the fucking interview, the internet goes out for 3 minutes.
So
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
so Chad and I, we're there to support Mayo. He's a
Yeah, he did the show a couple of months
comic
ago.
strip,
Yeah.
right? Just fucking killed it.
New York crowds are fun. I like it.
Yeah. So we're out there at Times Square. It's like 2, 3 in the morning. I don't know. Still tens of thousands of people out
Fucking
there.
weirdos out there too, right?
Right. And Chad and I are standing there. We're talking to each other. We're right on the corner of the street. This woman comes up on the other side of Chad, and she starts talking to him. And he's talking to her, and then all of a sudden she squats down and pulls her panties down and starts peeing on the sidewalk while she's talking to Chad. And I looked over and I was like, "All right, I'm fucking out," and I left. And so, if you multiply that times 2, that's New Orleans.
Pretty much. I mean, it's just
If you step in a puddle in New Orleans,
it's probably piss. Yeah.
it's not water. You know?
It's not lemonade fucking spilled. Lynchburg lemonade that gets spilled from the club. It's not any,
It's not good.
fruity flavored drinks. It's straight fucking from the cow urine, bro. It's disgusting as shit. Yeah, man, you know what? The thing about New York, there is, I know obviously because, it's expensive and these are some of the only people who can afford to live there, but man, there is a shit ton of gay dudes in New York. Like a
A
lot.
what?
Gay dudes. Like 60% of the guys are, just walking around together.
And he worries about the things I shouldn't say on TV.
Is that good or bad?
No, I'm just saying. This,
I mean, are you?
Yeah, let's bring
I
out
mean,
the
what is-
homophobic
what
here,
does that
Joe.
mean?
I'm saying, like you say, we're standing around Cleveland, walking around downtown.
New York would have been
You might
nice if
see-
it wasn't for all them gays.
I know you said that.
What that you basically just said that, bro.
Like you go down downtown Cleveland and see your public square or whatever, you might see fucking one gay person in a week. If it's the same thing in New York, Times Square.
I like Cleveland because we ain't got them there.
It's about 10 minutes. You'll see fucking 15 gay couples. It's just the way it is. Because New York is expensive as shit, and a lot of
Right,
gay
you're
couples don't have
talking
kids. Yeah,
like what you experienced, or
I'm saying,
per
what I
capita?
saw. Yeah, it was per capita. There's just a lot of gay dudes in New York, man. A lot more than I've ever seen pretty much anywhere, really. Even fuck. Well,
Dude,
yeah,
we have
Lakewood.
Lakewood.
Lakewood's not nearly as many gays as New York.
They literally have a fucking building on the
Did
street for
any
their
of them
fucking
come on to
community
you?
center.
No, they're damn built ones.
Are you upset about it?
Nah, I girl, that's all smoking weed. The one guy come up to me, he asked me for a cigarette. He's like, and I was like, no, sorry, but I'm smoking weed. So it's like kind of the opposite how it would be like back in the day.
That's awesome though. You're like, I'm just smoking weed.
It's like,
I'm
oh, that's cool,
smoking a
man.
cigarette.
He wanted a
I
cigarette.
would never smoke something so bad for you.
Well, literally, this is the point in New York where cigarettes are more expensive than weed.
Oh my
so it's-
god.
It's like 50 bucks a
Yeah.
pack.
He got disappointed because it wasn't a cigarette. He was like, damn,
Damn.
fucking smoking weed. What the fuck?
There's a
I
lot
can
of
get that anywhere.
I can get weed anywhere. I want a fucking cigarette. God damn it, I'm in New York.
I can't get a cigarette or a soda with sugar. in
Dude,
it.
that is the
Jesus
best
Christ.
decision I made was quitting, man.
Quitting
Quit
drinking?
what?
Cigarettes.
Oh yeah, dude, you don't have to wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and go, coughing and shit.
Oh yeah, I don't.
There's no more tar. Tar is the worst part about smoking.
But then I moved in that house which was covered in smoke. That if nothing will make you quit smoking, go into a house where somebody smoked in it for 20 fucking years.
Well, it's
And
weird
look at
because
the walls. That should have make you quit
that
smoking.
smell will go up through the rafters and get in clothes. Like, say you got a kid and they got a closet and you're smoking in the adjacent room. You could never smoke in that kid's room, but that smoke will get up through the closet, get in their clothes and shit. I mean, it's smoke, cigarette smoke. It's everywhere, bro. I remember back in the day, there was just Snow White Donuts on Pearl Road. And man, you could smoke, this is back like 0203. You could smoke in the donut shops back then. And you just go in there and you fucking order some donuts, and donuts taste like cigarettes. How the fuck do you want a cigarette tasting donuts?
Man, I'd be like, hey, come down to get my nicotine flavored donut. It's a fucking missed marketing opportunity.
Fucking nick
if you
her up with
ask
the
me,
fucking
man.
donuts and shit.
Shit.
Fucking damn
We
dude.
put them in Newport boxes.
Right.
Newports, man. If you're smoking Newports, you are hardcore, dude. Newports are no joke.
No, when I was little, that's what I smoked, just menthol. Why? Because nobody would ask me for one.
That's true.
When I grew up in Louisiana, none of the, like, my school was so small. Like, we had 100 people when we graduated. Everybody knew everybody. Everybody intermingled with everybody, all the different groups, but nobody smoked fucking Newports. So that's what I would get. So nobody would, they'd say, hey, you have a cigarette? I got a Newport. And they're like, nah.
Dude, my first apartment.
See, it's just the opposite.
It's
here.
psychological.
Oh, dude, my first apartment was like that, not with cigarettes. I used to always, because we used to just get drunk all the time. You know how it is in your first apartment in your early 20s. And I used to always get Guinness, because nobody would fucking drink Guinness. You're like, oh, this is fucking horrible. And they didn't want that shit. So if I wanted to keep beer in the fridge, like you get Budweiser, it's fucking going the next day. You know, everybody's drinking that shit. We used to have this couch, though.
Dude, did you bring your own ice? And
He's got mixed drinks, bro. He's got fucking.
this dude came prepared.
Dude, I told him I was
Dude, I told him
we threw it
I
out.
prepare for shit. That's what I do.
Hell yeah, dude. We party.
You are by far the most prepared guest we've ever had.
Right. Most people forget where the house is, bro. He came on time.
Dude, I forgot where the house is one day. I went up and down the street like 4 times.
Nobody.
I know I'm way too fucking hot.
Dude, nobody is worse. And once again, Pat, we love you, buddy, but nobody's worse than finding an house than Pat. Nobody. Pat's kind
Dude,
of
look,
You
I don't
have
care what
fucking
you say,
disco
bro.
lights
And
out
this-
there. How do you not find the
I'm putting
house?
this out on the record. I don't think Pat's real name, dude.
Patrick Bolger.
He is way too quiet. We know absolutely nothing about this dude. He has people buried in his basement,
Oh
bro.
man, are you starting a conspiracy?
I don't think Pat
Does
is.
he have another paper?
Dude, I seen the twinkle in his eye. That dude.
Pat doesn't have the thrusting capacity to stab, though, so I don't think he can kill people.
Nobody said he had to stab him. This ain't a horror movie, bro.
Maybe he's buried some bodies. I don't know. If somebody came to you right now,
I'm saying Pat ain't who Pat
No, wait,
says
I want to
Pat
hear
is.
this question.
all right. If somebody came to you right now and said, "Dude, I got to get rid of this body, man. I got this amount of dollars to give you, and you got to get rid of it," what would your price be?
In light of this dude's interview just a few minutes ago, I'm not answering that fucking
I
question.
would do it for about 10 grand. I'd say would be my minimum body disposal price. I would
What
say.
the hell would you
Really?
get in prison?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen how they did it, and there was this series on Showtime called Creep Show, and I saw this dude how he did it. What he did, you just got to get one of those bins, those big ass bins, right? And then once the body's dead, it's obviously you don't care about bones, so you can crush it up.
Dude, you're
But you
going
take
to
it-
prison.
You go to the bathtub and you get a bunch of bleach. Just put bleach.
Joe?
in there. But you hacksaw the bones up, and then you place the bones. You know,
Whoa. So
Joe.
we went a little. Hold on a second. We went a little far. So we asked you what your price would be,
Oh,
not
I started
how you would
describing-
fucking
oh,
do
okay,
it.
that's
Jesus
true.
Christ!
That's true. I don't want to give.
You know what? If they find some shit in his backyard later,
Joe.
they're gonna be like, "Well, wait a minute. Let me go back to
Let's
this
go.
video."
Let's look at the video and hear you admitted to
You
it.
know, let's.
That's true, but the
Just
story
like O.J.
ends.
Joe.
Simpson.
They
If
can-
I did
They
it,
can look.
You're going to be somebody's bitch in prison if you go about it that way.
Dude,
I'm telling you now,
I'm the
Get
benefit.
yourself some cherry
I'm
lipstick.
telling
Or
you
like-
right now. Any person I go to,
He's getting caught. You
I'm
don't
gonna-
put a body in a barrel.
I'm
That's how you get caught.
All right. Well, first off, any prison I go to, I'm going to be the benefits coordinator. We know that. Secondly, the story of how I dispose of the body ends with the body in a bin with concrete bleach at the bottom of the lake, not my backyard. So if you want to come check the backyard out, fine. You know where I live. The backyard's fine.
They can trace the fucking type of concrete it is.
That's
back
true.
to a
That's true.
certain
That's where the bleach
supplier.
comes in, though.
They can see the bleach.
Dude, you saw
as a certain kind.
You saw
from
fucking All
Clorox.
Saints Day. Bleach makes everything.
They will trace it back to the fucking barrel that it came
Yeah,
from.
the barrel.
Not
Where
to
did
the
that barrel get?
serial number,
Yeah, I'm
to the
telling you,
ID
man.
number, to the
Bleach.
scanner number in your car.
Bleach gets rid of everything, bro.
They trace the barrel back to the Facebook Marketplace site that you bought it from.
Right.
You negotiated the price.
You even haggled. They wanted $15. You were like, "Fuck that!
Right.
I'll give you 10."
They
The
put out
best I can do is $13.50.
they put out the bid history.
I got so much money to get rid of this body. I gotta stay within budget. God damn.
Right, I'm undercutting shit. I need a new concrete guy. The guy I'm fucking working with is not working. What are you needing this for? Nothing. Never mind you. Mind your business.
So I'm going to answer this question, right? Like, how much
Yeah.
would it take?
So Carl
Like, it
said
would
way
depend.
too low. I would, yeah, okay. You said it would depend on how big.
No, my price would be zero if I did it.
That's true.
So if someone came to me that I didn't fucking know and they were like, "Hey, can you help me bury this body?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna have to call the cops, man.
That's
I don't
true.
fucking know you, so
You know, that's a very good
you're
point.
gonna have to go to prison."
There's a strong barrier.
You are not getting me with you.
Yeah, I'm not going to be in on this any longer. So we have to end this conversation. Now, if it was one of my good friends, right, and it was like, it's a difference too. Then even with your good friends, right,
You have to see.
you have to
how-
weigh. You have to weigh the situation.
We better be good fucking friends.
Right.
First of all.
First of all, you better be good friends, and it better be dark. I'm not fucking helping bury a body in broad goddamn daylight.
Well, yeah,
You knock on my door and do it.
It's
I'm like,
ridiculous.
motherfucker, what are you here?
I'd be like, "Hey, fucking, your car is leaking. Get that shit out of my driveway." Yeah,
No, that's
I'm
a,
not doing that.
that's a very good point. There's a huge barrier to entry in this field. I mean, you got to really get to know somebody if you want them to dispose
Yeah.
of bodies. Like when I'm talking really get to know somebody, like they probably seen one of your relatives naked, that kind of level, because that's a huge favor. You know what I mean? That's somebody
It's
that
like,
get rid of.
so you know what a perfect example of that is that everybody can probably relate to is that scene in Pulp Fiction where Travolta and Jackson roll up to Tarantino's house and they got that dead guy in the
The
back of the
truck
car.
driver.
Like, that's a perfect situation. What would you do? They roll up to your house.
I like if Don just pulls up in the fucking STD podcast live on Friday nights on YouTube at 9:30 with the, "Hey man, I got this," and it's just a random fucking folded up pretzel fucking body in there. I don't know,
This is
man.
kinda
Honestly,
dark.
I would kind of
We should lighten up a little bit.
I would kind of roll with it.
I don't know where the hell this even
Yeah, I
came
don't
from.
know
At this
either.
point,
I
I'm
would.
lost.
I mean,
Just-
honestly,
I saw
we're
him,
on
I
this
saw him
fucking
going
ride
some
now.
way, and then I wanted to make sure he got there.
well, it's like if say Don did this hypothetical, I would honestly roll with it, bring him into the studio, do a lot of inside jokes, and maybe he was on the way home. Then be 911, there's a body in that trunk, and then that way I get the fucking publicity and substance abuse and all that. But I mean, it would depend though, because
No fucking loyalty.
See,
You would rat me out?
Well,
Like,
this is-
seriously.
Hey, I'm here with my buddy burying the body. Just wanted to give a big shout out.
Exactly.
Oh, this motherfucker's such an
The
egomaniac.
John's
He'll be
Funeral
snapping pictures for
Services.
Facebook.
great Instagram.
It'll be me lugging the body in and he'll be taking a selfie.
Hashtag disposal life.
You can see the feet out of the back of the rug.
Hashtag she didn't subscribe. Don't be next.
Right. And I would write on the
That's a bit
torso.
rough,
I would
man.
write on the torso the
You gotta
fucking
pull back on that.
right on the torso and below www.youtube.com/STD podcast.
You spell it wrong.
Our podcast is killer.
Love it. I love it. See the publicity alone.
See, that's a good sticker right there. You have a body rolled up with feet sticking out. Our podcast is killer.
Just a blood theme, blood
Yeah,
splatter
I mean,
shirt theme. I like it.
We're
I'm
getting
fucking
pretty
with it.
dark here. So.
Well, I mean, we're all wearing black shirts randomly. I think.
That is true.
This is black.
Well,
with
I
blue.
do it because I'm
Yeah, I think this is
overweight and it's
black.
thinning. Right?
That's true. Black makes
why
you.
you're
If
wearing
you're out
it.
there and you're like 250, $150.
I have never once been confused as being thin.
That's
Where the fuck did that come from?
Don goes up to those funhouse mirrors. They're supposed to make it thin. Those fuckers break. He never has them. They're like, no, I'm out. Just break. It's fucked up. You're a hefty guy, man. He's done a good job. Though. I'll give him credit. He's lost serious poundage, bro. Like 50 pounds at least.
Have you lost 50 pounds?
Yeah.
A
Really?
little bit over, yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
That's fucking amazing. Dude,
Dude, I used to almost be 400 pounds.
Dude, he was a big dude, bro. He was a big dude. He used to come in and eat half the fucking crew. He used to have 8 guys on the show. It was fucked up.
You
I'm
said
just
what?
kidding. I made that up. He
You
didn't
said
really
you
eat.
eat guys on the show? That's-
It was like we used to have 8 members. He ate 4
We're
of
not
them.
doing that kind of show tonight, are we? I mean,
Cannibalism.
It depends on
Yeah,
how
fuck
funny
that
you
shit.
are.
okay.
Right. If you bring us, if you don't bring
You
us,
better
money,
get us
we're
our 99 motherfucking chuckles.
Right. It's like at the end of the day, we're gonna run out of food, so we gotta eat somebody. Just fucking, I don't know. The new guy's probably the first to go. So you're in Barksdale. So did you go to high school on the base? Where was the high school?
No. I went to a high school that was way out in the woods. They
Did you guys close during deer season? That kind of school?
no, not like that, but like our hometown, you didn't have to dial the first 3 numbers in anybody's phone number, right? You could just pick it up and dial the last 4 numbers, and you would get them.
Nice.
That's how small the town. We had one stoplight, and it started blinking at 8 o'clock.
Nice. How many bars were in your small town?
Just one.
There's one bar.
Yeah.
There was one bar every block. Cleveland.
Yeah, we didn't have that, but we would. So we were out there, and it was a very. I never realized this until I moved up here, or got out of there. But it's a very common phrase to say. I'd call one of my friends and be like, "Hey, so where you at?" And he was like, "Oh, they've gone to town." Gone to town? Holy shit! What is this? The 1800s? I'm getting on a fucking horse and going to town? Fuck. That's how far out we lived.
Jesus. So, like, what was the fire hydrant system like? Like, if a fire broke out of your house, is there a fire department, or how do they even work it? Like buckets and horses? What's up?
Well, we had fire trucks.
Okay.
You know, I mean, there was a fire hydrant in our neighborhood,
Okay.
but our neighborhood wasn't that big. We probably had. I grew up in a gated community. You know,
How many gates? Like 2 gates? Like, is there one
You mean
way and
like
one
2
way?
gates that open?
Oh,
Or
is there
one
2?
gate?
Like, say one gate's over here, and one gate's over here, or just one gate?
No, just one gate.
Wow, one gate, one way and
Does that
one way
mean
out. It's like
something?
a fucking death circle, dude.
No, I don't.
Does that mean something?
No. I'm just
He's
thinking.
saying that if it's one gate in and one gate out, you have no real way of escape.
Yeah,
Oh, no, that's
so
not true
some shit
because
went
it's all
down.
fucking woods, man. I mean,
Oh, so
it's
you're just
not
gonna,
like we're
okay, I
in,
got you.
it's a gated community. We have just fucking huge houses, lots of land, and
So you grew up.
four-wheeler.
You
Yeah,
grew up not
Privileged.
struggling.
yeah.
Wait,
No,
I wasn't
no.
gonna say privilege
No, it's okay.
because
It's okay. So,
His dad was a chief, bro. A chief.
no. I mean,
his dad wasn't a chief.
He was a chief minister sergeant in the blessed United States Air Force. Salute.
No. So for a while, we lived very below poverty.
Like Bobby Boucher.
Just my mother and I, right? It was just us. Like we didn't have shit. And then, my mom married some guy that started a business and he did real well, and we fucking moved up.
What's his name? Bill Gates.
No.
That never works. Bill Gates
But
can't come do the show.
that's what happened. I mean, I'm upfront about
All right, so I gotta ask
So I
you.
get it.
So, do you have any siblings?
Yeah, I got 3 younger sisters.
So is it Caitlin? Is that your sibling?
That's my daughter.
That's your daughter. Oh no shit. Okay, nice. I
I
didn't
have
know.
3 daughters.
So you got
How old's your
3.
oldest?
26.
Youngest.
You had sex 3 times.
Goddamn right.
That was fucking great.
I hope
That was the
fuck
most
they heard
random
that
shit
there.
ever.
Uh,
I really hope they got that. Dude, your show better have fucking got that show.
I'm sure they did. Sure.
That's a great sound.
So,
bite.
oh shit, like 21, 24, 25, 26.
3 daughters. Are they all? Are they married or any of them married or what's?
One of them's married.
Did you have to pay
The
for all
oldest.
that?
Probably.
Did they? Where did they get married? At like a mountaintop, or where did they get married at?
No, they got married at a church, a Catholic church,
And up here in Ohio, where at?
in Columbus.
Okay. Columbus is a cool town. Fuck Columbus. Sorry, it's kind of dull.
You know what? I don't usually get shitty about things at restaurants. We were at this restaurant down there, and they said that they had chicken fried steak on the menu. And I'm from Louisiana. I fucking love chicken fried steak. Anytime I get some chicken fried steak, I'm going to eat it. It said chicken fried steak right on the menu. And so I ordered that, and it came back, and I cut into it, and it was chicken. I was like, so the waitress comes over and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Dude, this is chicken. You said you had chicken fried steak." And she said, "Oh no, that's we said chicken, so it's chicken." And I was like, "That is fucked up." She goes, "No, that's what it is." I said, "Look, I don't pull this out too often. I'm from Louisiana. I know what the fuck chicken fried steak."
I don't think Joe knows what chicken fried steak is.
I know what chicken fried steak is. You fucking.
What is it
slow.
then?
It's fucking steak fried with chicken fucking gravy.
He does not know.
I know what it is when I eat it.
I'm sorry.
I told you. I
It's
knew it.
But wait a
I can tell
minute.
by the dumbass look
I don't
on
make the
his
shit,
face.
bro. I know
Chicken
what it is
fried-
when I eat it.
Dude, chicken fried steak.
Continue, Mr. Scott.
No, I was done. I want to hear this.
Now, Louisiana, do you like po' boys?
Yeah, they're just like another name
I
for
love
sub
those
sandwiches.
fucking things, man.
Yeah.
With the shrimp and all that. It's
Oh
good.
yeah, fried shrimp. That's okay.
You are a son of a bitch, man.
Dude, just because I call you on your bullshit don't mean nothing. Like, I can tell by the look on your face you had no clue what he was
I
talking
know how to
about.
eat chicken fried steak, bro. I don't know how to make
You
it.
don't even know
Well,
what it
there's a difference.
is.
There's a difference. Like I am ashamed that I know this stuff.
I'm trying to help you.
There's a difference between chicken fried steak and country fried steak.
Yeah.
Do you know what the difference is?
I don't know, actually. What's
You don't know?
No.
It's the gravy.
Okay.
So country fried steak has white gravy. Chicken fried steak has brown gravy. And there you go. But either way, at the end of the day,
That's literally
you
the only
still
difference.
get gravy. And that's the best part
I love
of that fucking meal. You're getting the gravy. It's a way to get gravy in you.
gravy
I
is
love it.
so good, dude. I love
Oh.
gravy.
It's the best.
If I could like have a dream, like one of those death meals or whatever, I would have biscuits and gravy in the morning because sausage gravy is fucking great with biscuits. It's so good. And I know you guys like down south. The one thing about down south food I don't like, and I know you people like it, is those grits.
You don't like
I
grits?
cannot stand grits. And you saw how he likes grits. Everybody, those south of Mason-Dixon line, they all love grits, dude. And up here in the north, I just don't like them.
I don't
Dude,
think I've ever
that seems
had
like a stereotype, and I'm
Oh, it's totally stereotyping here, but I mean,
I'm offended.
I just.
But there's got to be something that you didn't grow up with and you got up here and you were like, what the fuck are y'all eating?
Yeah, like, do you like pierogies and shit like when you got up here north?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You got to remember, my parents are from up here.
That's
I
true.
used
Oh,
to
that's true.
visit
That's
up
true. That's
here
true.
every summer. I would spend my summer
So he's not like a
Up
stereotypical
in
plantation
Chardon.
South guy. He's a fucking shark.
Chardon and Ashtabula.
Smash to Beulah. We used to have a couple listeners from Smash to Beulah back in that day.
No.
Probably don't listen no more. I think when I got married. But we're talking about Ashtabula.
We got better stuff to
They
do now.
probably got the fuck out of Ashtabula.
Right. There's one cool thing you do in Ashtabula.
That's all you can hope
Leave.
for, right?
Actually,
is to get the fuck out of
No,
Ashtabula.
there's three things. If you got a snowplow business in Ashtabula, you're gonna stay there because there's a lot of money to be made. If you're like into getting rehabilitated, you're gonna stay there because there's a fucking huge Glen Bay Center out there. And if you want to leave, that's another good thing to do in Ashtabula. Well, you're kind of close to the Browns a little bit. You're about an hour or so out. So you're like kind of within the action. But yeah, Ashtabula, it's like so far, dude. Even from the east side where you're at, it's fucking far as shit to get to
Oh,
Ashtabula.
yeah.
You just gotta keep getting a 90, just driving. You're like, fuck.
Well, I'm okay. I mean, where I am now, I'm out of Willoughby Hills.
Mhm.
Love that place.
How far are you from the lake where you're at?
I don't fucking know.
Okay. So you're not like on one of those streets and you look this way and the lake's
No,
like,
we don't look at that. No, Willoughby Hills is down.
Oh, that's right. You're not up in the trailer park Willoughby part then. Okay. It's not really trailer parks, but it might as well be. You know what the fuck I'm talking about. Yeah, see, he's laughing.
I don't go up in. I actually, it's
Right
so
off
funny
Lakeshore.
is that
Every place off Lakeshore is fucking.
the moving up here has really been fun. Like people that grew up here, like you guys all have this banner, where different areas are and shit. But for me, looking from the outside, like I only know where I am. It's really all I fucking know.
No, it's so true.
I didn't grow up here. I don't know anything. I just know about
Everybody else
where
is
I
talking,
am.
you're just like,
Yeah, I'm like, that's
Where the fuck am
awesome. I do know that people in Parma are perceived as people that would wear like white socks and sandals.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, if you think of Joe
accurate?
Dirt with a Fiero, and no fear sticker, that's totally Parma.
A Fiero?
A Fiero or a fucking a Trans Am, the no fear sticker, that's totally Parma all day.
I have a funny story about Parma. So when I first moved up here, I lived over like North Royalton, right? When I first got up here.
No roll. Yeah, my nigga knows about North Royalton.
Yeah, so I lived
It's
over
like
there.
Joe Dirt.
And one of my buddies that was on this hockey team that I played on was having a Halloween costume party. And so it was right about the time that Siegfried and Roy guy got attacked by the tiger.
I remember that.
Remember that? And it like bit him on the neck and shit. So I went out and got this stuffed white tiger, and I tied it around my neck, and I put a bunch of blood and shit on me, and I had this like pirate shirt and stuff. So I was like getting attacked by the tiger. That's who I was. And so I'm trying to drive to my friend's house. I'm probably not in my right mind, and maybe not should have been driving. And all the houses in Parma look the fucking same. I mean, every single one of them. So I thought I was there, and I just go into this house, and I'm like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm standing there with this tiger on my fucking neck, and there's blood all over me. And there's this family that I've never fucking seen before having dinner, and I was like, I guess this isn't the party. Y'all have a nice evening. And just back the fuck out. I was like, oh my God.
Dude, that's the thing about this
You
area.
know, there's some kid right now like, dude, look. Dude, I was 8.
Telling the story right now.
I was eating dinner, and next thing I know, this dude in a pirate shirt with a fucking stuffed animal biting him in the neck walked in the front door.
Oh, shit.
And every one of his boys are like, man, that shit didn't happen. You're making that shit up.
Yeah.
Squirrels in the house. What's up, squirrel? Dude, that's the thing about that happened to me once when because every house does look the same on every street. So when I lived on 127th, we were about 5 houses down from the corner, and there's a convenience store, little one dude only feels like from fucking Jordan or some shit. But I used to always go over there and get beer and just walk back, and I would get loaded. And then one time I walked back, and I went to the house number 4 instead of house number 5. I was 5. I was counting on a go, And then I just pounded on the door, like, why the fuck can't I get in here? And somebody turned down, and I was like, shit. I booked off and ran off, and I was like, oh, yeah, I went to the house. And later we had a party, right before I was leaving for Phoenix on Operation Jumpstart. I was going on the orders for a year for the Air Guard. We had a party at my old place because I was leaving the lease. We just had a party there. And we all went to the bar and then came back, and a couple people stayed at the house while we were at the bar, just chilling or whatever. We find out they got fucking robbed, at the house where we were at the bar. Some guys just walking down the street when they're sitting on the porch, just fucking rob them at gunpoint and shit.
Holy shit.
Yeah, 127's a fucking dive, man. It's that place is crazy.
Is that in Parma?
That's in Cleveland, right on the west side there.
Oh.
They're going to the wrong house story reminded me of that story on 127. So when did you?
Yeah, shit happens in Cleveland.
So when did you get? So we're sitting there, and so you went to the service right out of high school. Did you ever think of the Marines? You always going to go Air Force? Did your dad say?
No, I passed my ASVAB, so they said I had to go into the Air Force. That's a shout out for all the veterans
Shout
out there that know
out.
how to spell their
We
name.
got some veterans in the house, I think. Who was watching those vets? I don't know. Usually Dave. Oh, Dave was a vet. He was in the Navy. He was a corpsman in the Navy.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He likes drinking. We were watching before in the pre-show. We were watching the Chipmunks After Dark show a couple weeks ago where they got into the fight. That was funny. And David was on that one, but so you get there and when you took the ASVAB, did you how many times did you have to take it?
Just once.
Just once.
They said I could take any, so I took it when I was 16.
Oh, so you were a fucking sophomore going to your junior year, you're taking that fucking test.
Yeah, so I took that test then. At 16, I already knew I was fucked, right? I wasn't going to make it past high school pretty much. So I thought I'd go into the military, find out what my dad does, and I'll get a job, right? I'll have something. They can pay for my college if I make a choice to get out. So that's what I did. But I wanted to be an air traffic controller. But when it came time for me to go, they were like, well, the school isn't going to be ready for another 2 years. So you can stay there for 2 years and then join, or what else would you might want to do? And I said, well, I might want to be a cop. And they went, okay, good. That's a great idea. You should just come right in. And it got me out of the fucking house. And look, I told you I lived in this gated, whatever.
Bobby Boucher community and shit.
Well, but as I was leaving, you know how most parents are supposed to keep their kids' room just like it was, so that if they ever come back, they come in. Dude, I walked out. There's a fucking interior decorator walking in. I mean, no shit. They turned my room into a gym 20 fucking minutes later.
Jeez, there was no leeway. You were like, this motherfucker's gonna float. They didn't fucking give you
So,
fucking water wings.
what makes you, or what made you want to become a cop?
Like I thought it would be cool.
All right, well, on the FSC,
Look,
so we're sitting there, and this is 1988, right? So this is
Yeah.
the height of fucking hoorah.
That's right.
You know, USA, fucking Rockies beating Drago, fucking communism's getting stopped in the USSR. And you pick of all the fails, the 3PO, the security forces. I mean, what?
No, so
Was that before? Was that back when they had law enforcement and like?
Yeah, security.
Okay, so which one were
Law
you?
enforcement.
You were law enforcement. Okay.
Yeah.
So you went right.
So I was the cop, right? And you know, security stands in front of planes and bombs and shit. You know, it doesn't take much to do that.
Literally, they
If you
stand
can
there
keep
with
a
an
fucking
FCC.
gun from falling off your shoulder, that's pretty much your job.
Well, you got to stay awake most of the time.
Yes, most of the
Most
time.
of the time, you got to stay awake. If people are looking, you got to stay awake.
Shout out to the Air Force.
Heck yeah, aim high, baby.
Sorry.
Josh Skinner was in the Army. Josh is cool. Oh yeah, he was in the Air Force, but he was in the Army.
Army is above Marines.
Army's cool. The Army Marines. The Marines are fucking crazy. Those guys drink like fucking no tomorrow. Dude, I was a bona fide grade 9 alcoholic back in the day. Those guys are still pounding liquor, still fucking chilling and shit. How do you guys drink like that, man? Well, I think when you go into the Marine Corps boot camp, Paris Island, they give you a fucking liver transplant and replace it with a bronze liver, so you can just fucking drink forever. Because bronze fucking doesn't get rusted by liquor, for what I'm told. I would imagine so.
Why wouldn't they make a flask out of that then? Sounds like a
Out of the liver? No, we're talking like
Joe just literally made that shit up as
your
he was
liver
going.
flask.
Joe
Right.
has
One of
no
those.
fucking clue.
So, because Marines just drink like there's no tomorrow, bro. You know how it is with those guys.
Yeah, they're not. So look, I mean, I don't know what they do to them in their boot camp,
That's
but
fucked up.
they fuck with their heads.
They do, dude. There's some
Right.
crazy.
Like, I mean,
motherfuckers.
I've seen some Marines, and I'm just like, is that a Marine? All right, well, I'm gonna go over here, right? I mean, I'm racist towards Marines. That's pretty much what it is.
I take it though. I take partying with them though because like they'll just party at any occasion, dude.
They're bark.
The Marine Corps was
They're-
founded on this
they're
day. Let's
bark.
fucking drink.
They train them to bark. I mean, what the fuck is that? How do you train a human to willingly bark like an animal? That's fucking crazy.
Those guys do party though, man. And chicks dig fucking Marines though for some reason, man. They see that little. Every Marine has like fucking covered Marine tattoos. They see one Marine tattoo, it's like a fucking pussy magnet coming over. Jeez, what's with that shit?
When I was in the Philippines,
Oh, jeez.
we
Was it Howard Air Force Base?
Clark.
Clark. Oh, that's right, Clark. Howard was Panama. What year are we talking here? Because it closed what, 91, 92?
89,
Oh,
91.
nice.
Yeah, it closed right after I left.
Oh, okay. All right, continue with the Filipinos.
Yeah, so we would go downtown, right? As soon as you went out, like as soon as you stepped off base, there were whores. Like there was. It's like a
He's like, there was
wall of-
horse.
Like did you
Pussy
see?
everywhere.
Did you see Avengers Endgame?
Yeah.
Right? You know that shield that went over Wakanda and all the monsters were piled up against this shield? Those were the whores, man. They were all fucking up. As soon as you stepped out, you were covered in whore.
It's the Walking Dead of
And-
Snatch. You go out of the fucking
it was whores and Marines. It was terrible. Every time you went off base, they would fucking fight at the drop of the hat for nothing. Absolutely.
They are some fighting fucks. They do just all the time. Every time you're at a party of Marines,
Right.
a fight breaks out for no reason. It's like, the Marines is cool. No,
Like
this
they
Marine
can take
division is cooler.
offense to hello.
Right. The way you said hello is wrong. You're disrespecting the 3rd Marine Division Infantry. It's like, oh no.
But you know what? I mean,
They got some cool missions. I mean, they go through some crazy missions, bro. I mean, if you look at the Marines when they was Haiti and fucking Somalia, I mean, that's some fucked up shit, bro.
like anything that they do is awesome.
It is.
I'm
It's
not
cool.
going to. I'm not going to
And
deny
dude,
that.
every Marine uniform is just totally badass. Dude, those dress blues fucking fire, man. I would love to rock. I can obviously in the Air Force we never rocked them. We got our bus.
Yeah, they were the worst fucking
bus driver
uniforms.
fucking
And
uniforms.
like you traded safety for shitty uniforms. That's pretty much the way it went.
Now,
Like in the Air Force,
The safer you were, the worse the
Yeah,
uniforms
like
were.
the safer you were, the worse your shit looked. Like we were just fucking green, just green like a fuck. They called you a pickle until you got a fucking.
Now, was
We
it
actually-
dark green or was it?
No, just shitty one color. When I went in, we didn't even have camouflage.
That was a noise.
that's the Google device got
Google
activated when we
fire.
said hello. We said, okay, Google. Okay, Google, stop. We can't see the flare, so it doesn't even matter. So, but we were on the OD
sufficiently
greens.
block everything.
So the OD greens were just fucking so ridiculous.
Like how green though? That's what I'm asking. Like obviously,
all I can say is OD green.
Hey, look at his hat. Look at his hat, and that's what the whole uniform is like.
Like the John Deere logo green?
No, this is too vibrant.
Here, I'll show you. I'll bring it up here on the and we'll share it on the thing here.
Imagine a pile of semi-dry leaves. Imagine a color that takes all emotion out of your body.
The most neutral color ever.
Imagine a color
That's what we're gonna put them.
right, that reduces your ability to resist or go against any ridiculous bullshit you may be ordered.
Simo, welcome to the party, bud. I'm going to show you what these Marine or these. I know these are Army, but the Air Force had these same ones here. Because I remember when we first got in, we were still getting the old coats because they had like 800 million coats. We can still get the old OD green coat. Give it about 15 seconds to catch up there, you can see it. But that's the old OD green that they used to rock. It was they're just so soul sucking, bro. You just put them on and it's just like
I'm telling you, man.
There goes my
What
life.
sucked is, look, when I went into the Air Force, I was 120 pounds. 120 pounds. You know how much that is?
That's a green?
Yeah, the one on the right there. That's OD green. That's what the uniform is.
It's the black hole of emotion.
And then sitting there right about 1990 or so.
Like, dude, that is really depressing as a color, though. Like, there's nothing to that says.
In '89, when I went to the Philippines, we got real BDUs, like real.
BDUs was what I got when we first came in '95, and then it went from BDUs. I hated the boot polishing. That was so horrible. Oh my god, I hated polishing boots. We had BDUs up until 2009ish, and they went to this thing called ABUs. They went to the green boots, and it was just all the concept of the uniform was that like in a desert environment or a woodland environment, it still works, and if there's two different sets of uniforms, in reality, it's a fucking disaster. Then after that, because
when you're working at the chow hall cooking things, you need to be ready to get out into battle, man.
Right.
Fucking point.
That's right. Well, the BDUs. Now, did you guys have the old boots where you had to polish them with the ABUs or the OD greens?
I told you I lived a privileged life up until I went to the military, right? But it really kind of didn't stop when I went to the military. So when I was in basic training, I failed some inspection. I wasn't going to get leave to go out for a weekend. And I told my dad, and he was like, I'll take care of that. And then I got to go out. So it didn't stop. So when I went to the Philippines, we had people that polished our shit.
Nice.
And I mean, it cost you $5 a month to pay for a guy to wash your clothes every day. I only went through 2 uniforms in 2 years.
Nice. Now, is it true over in the? I got some Clark Air Force Base questions. Was it true that for like $25 or $30, you can get a woman to live with you for a month, and you can wife her up, and she'll take care of all your needs, including release and laundry and shit like that? Is there
I
any
like
truth?
that you put release in front of do your laundry.
Right.
I
Well,
do.
that's the
I
first
do
thing.
appreciate
Priorities.
Right.
Right,
I mean,
You pay a dude $5 to do your laundry, but you ain't paying him $5 to release you. So you need the wife to do that.
you know
for 30
what?
days.
Here's what I'm going to say is that their concept of what is wealth is different than ours, right?
True,
Even no matter who in America, the worst person in America has it better than most people in third world nations. So, that kind of shit happened all the time. There were people that would take advantage of that. I don't even want to talk about my roommate it's a most horrible discussion ever. But yeah, that kind of shit happens, man. You just got to be on the right side of that.
That's I've heard so much ridiculous stories about the Philippines, man. It's so hot over there. Like, how'd you deal with the fucking insane oppressive?
You know what's crazy is that when I got there, it was like 400 degrees, right? And I exploded as soon as I got off the plane. And the guy that picked me up from the airport to take me to the induction place for the cops had gonorrhea in his eye, and that's why he was driving me around.
Nice.
So I was like, well, this is going to be an exciting time. I have to look forward to gonorrhea in my eye and all this shit. And
Now, could you see the visible gonorrhea in the eye? Like, was it that oppressive?
yeah,
Wow.
it was,
So just looking at this
rough.
eye, it looks like a fucking diseased veg or something. Wow.
Dude, it's a crazy place, you know.
That's if I had eye gonorrhea, bro, I would just fucking isolate for a couple weeks till that shit went away. Because that's kind of embarrassing, man.
Yeah.
It's like when you see these chicks with the canker sores. It's like, we know where you got it, man. Why are you in the house? Get this shit taken care of. It's horrible. And usually some of these chicks with these,
Get a vaccine.
some of these chicks with these canker
Yeah.
sores, they got fucking big knocks, man. But they just focusing on that canker sore. It's like a goddamn volcano on their fucking lip. It's horrible, man. If you're out there and you got one of those things, get it taken care of right now, dude. Go to the dermatologist. It's just gross and you know it. I'm not accusing anybody,
That's a
but you
pretty
know.
strong opinion on it.
Well, I mean, it's gross, dude. I don't want to see that shit. Get this shit taken care of. Right.
You know, those people enjoy the mask mandates.
That's true. That's true.
That was a.
I mean, we can't. No, it's one of those things. It's like, you know, not everybody who enjoys masks mandates has a canker sore, but everybody who has a canker sore for sure fucking enjoys the mask mandate. Am I right? Fuck yeah, I'm right. You know I'm right, or else you won't be watching right now. Oh yeah. So we're sitting there and it's 88, and you're going to tech school out in, where was it? Is it San Antonio? So you went to Camp Bullis. Was that still around back then? What was there to go to Air Force Base? Where'd you go?
Lancaster?
Lackland was a main base. Did you go to like the training
Yeah,
camp?
but then, so that's where you went for boot camp, right?
Right.
And then, but the law enforcement academy, law enforcement security, same place.
Right
So
there.
we went right out of those shit dorms into
Slightly
shit dorms.
Slightly shittier
Yeah,
dorms.
shittier dorms.
It's great. 8 weeks of no. And then what did you put in your dream sheet when you left? When you were in there? Okay, here we go, Scott or Wene. Where do you want to go, bro? And then you get 3 choices. What were
I
you?
had all overseas, and then the last thing that I had was Barksdale, and then that's where I ended
That's
up.
pretty fucked up, right
Yeah,
there.
I know.
You should put that on there. You've been fucking.
You're
dirty for 2
absolutely
years,
right.
bro.
Look, man, we all learn from our
True.
mistakes.
True.
If I am ever presented with a list of places I want to go, Barksdale will not be on
Just
that.
yeah. So Don, if I give you a list of places like, hey, we're gonna take the show here, here, and here, or give you places, a list of places you want to take the show, don't put Barksdale Air Force.
Yeah, that won't be on there.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Do not put that on the list.
There's a
Why is
bad
it so bad?
decision. Well, it's not that.
It's not
that's
that
where
bad.
I'm from.
He's from there, and I
I'm
mean,
from there.
and if we're taking the show places, I mean, there's not really much to do with Shreveport.
What are you gonna do? Go down to the corner?
Right. To our left is a
How
giant
fucking
river.
original is that? I don't even know why I put it on there. And you know the thing
You
is,
would probably
I feel-
load it if I would imagine.
so
And that's a crazy drunk decision.
yeah. Well, no, not during boot camp.
That's true. That's true.
So I felt bad because there was a guy that, you know, because I didn't have to worry about drinking and shit, he was like a pretty conservative guy, right? He grew up real strict in like the fucking cornfields of Iowa and shit. And so I was telling him about Louisiana, and then I put on the bottom of my sheet Barksdale, and he put on his sheet Barksdale, and then that guy became an alcoholic. And I mean, I feel fucking bad about it. That's a
Fucking
terrible,
ruining
that's a
careers.
fucking terrible story, isn't it? Holy shit.
Military will make you fucking drink. If you're
Oh,
already
you
a
should.
partier and you go into the service,
Yeah.
that's like fucking putting an amplifier on a fucking radio. It's just
Dude,
gonna,
they don't do anything to like really discourage.
They really
Why
don't.
should they though? Really?
Right.
If you can pick up a gun and kill people on command.
Oh,
why
I'm
can't you have a
not
fucking break?
disagreeing with the age thing. Obviously, if you're in the military, you should be able to drink at 18. But man, they promote it so much. Like when you first, because there's nothing to do when you're off work. You're like, fuck it, let's go drink. And you got fucking 80 fucking 20-year-olds sitting together. What are they gonna do? They're gonna fucking drink. What's gonna happen? Shit's gonna fucking happen. So that just, dude, most of the missions I did when I was under 30, where I was fucking lit or hungover the whole time, and I used to fucking just drink, bro. So
I'm so glad this is my country's fucking military
this is a
institution.
dome, bro.
So we had to qualify with our M16s one morning, and you had to be at the armory to get your gun at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So we stayed out until 2:30 in the morning, fucking drinking. I was fucking wrecked. And but I made it. I got my gun. I went to the range. We're shooting, and they go down to score the targets. I don't have any shots on my target, man. But this guy has double the amount of fucking shots on his target. And they gave it to me. I was like, great. I can totally double kill that guy that's next to me.
I got a similar story like that. We were, because back in the day, you just have to qualify.
It's amazing we won a war.
It was depending on what your job class was, on how many times you had to qualify. For me, it was like when I first got it, it was like every 2 years, and it changed to every 3 years. But for like law enforcement, everything's usually every year, every 6 months, something like that. But we were at guard once, man, and we went out the night before, the story just like that. We had to go to the range the next day. Man, one buddy, he's now a chief, actually. He's about to retire. His name's Tim Merle. He never listened, so I can talk about him. But he scored 8 out of 40. Like, you get 15 just to qualify. You get 8. Well, you close your eyes and be hungover as fuck and still hit the target at least 20 times typically. And his motherfucker gets 8. We still tease him about it. I think he had to requalify like an extra or some shit. But like, yeah, I would say most of the time I was, on the range, I was probably legally drunk if we think back on it. I mean, it's just what you do. I mean, you get away from the house. For me, I was air guard. So, like, you go for 1 week and a month on Mansfield. Later, my career was Columbus. And that whole weekend, the first Saturday, you're talking about, what are we going to do, man? Let's meet up right out the bar. The hotel's over here. There's a bar right over here. 5 o'clock, we'll be out of uniform. Fucking already watching the Buckeyes game. And after that, somebody's going to have a party later after the fucking football game or something. So every fucking Saturday night, you're drinking. You know how it is. You keep pushing the envelope. We must stay out, 12, 12:30. By 1 o'clock, you're fucked. I mean, anything past 1, you're in that zone. If you're out past 1, if you're just like 1:30 and you got to be working fucking 7:45, you're done. Hey, you're fucked. You might as well just fucking call in. I remember once my one buddy, he was like, "Oh, I gotta be honest," and he gets loaded, right? And he calls in and it's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be late. I was drunk." Man, they fucking reamed him a new asshole. All you gotta do is lie. I mean, why tell the truth when they're gonna fucking ream you? That's the example. The example is, if you call in, you're drunk, we're gonna fucking do it. Just drive in when you're drunk. That way, you don't get caught. And live it.
The military. We're drunk and lying.
So I was first stationed at Barksdale, Louisiana, and then I was stationed in the Philippines for 2 years, and then I had an American girlfriend in the Philippines, which was kind of unusual. Right? A lot of women in the Philippines, like military members, right? I'm not saying all of them. I'm just saying what I noticed.
I know
Like how he noticed a
of
lot of gay people in New York, right? That because the women off base were so economically viable, right?
They were cheap, motherfucker. They were cheap.
I didn't say that. I said they were economically viable.
They were buy one,
there
give
was a
one
lot
free
of
on
women
Sunday.
that sought the consolation of other women. That's all I'm saying, right?
Makes sense.
So the Philippines were cheap hookers, Marines, and lesbian military wives.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there was a lot of women there. But anyway, I had an American girlfriend, and then so we were both leaving the Philippines at the same time. We were supposed to both go to San Antonio, right? And one of the things that people that were leaving the Philippines love to do is hear the robot tell you that where you were going next, right? Because you couldn't wait to get out of there. And I used to listen to San Antonio. Every night I'd call in and I'd listen to San Antonio. And then one night, Barksdale Air Force Base. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? And then I never saw that girl again.
So how did you? You're sitting there. You get 2 years in at Barksdale, and then they threw you to the Philippines.
Yeah, well, 1 year. 1 year.
No, was that on your remote? Was that considered a remote? How did you get that in your green sheet?
In the first year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like once.
So I told you I lived a privileged life, right?
Right.
So in your first year as a cop, you don't really get to drive a car and fucking arrest people and shit, right? You stand in front of doors to let generals in, right? You're just a fucking butler. And so I would work at 8th Air Force headquarters that's on Barksdale. And I worked at the back door. And the back door was like this low-key entrance. That's where all the generals and everybody came through. And right about that time, so I got to know them as they came in, every day. That's where I would work. And then as I got to know them, and right about that time, they stopped having smoking in federal buildings. So all these generals and colonels and shit smoked. So they all had these telephones run down to the back porch where they would come in and they would take calls on these telephones and smoke. And I would be out there smoking and we would talk. And I told them that I was from Barksdale and they were like, you got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like, I know I need to get the fuck out of here. And so as soon as I hit 1 year at Barksdale, I got orders.
Nice. And what was your first thought besides this is an oven of landing in the Philippines? It's like, dude, one thing I've noticed, and this is we're a very stereotyping show. All stereotypes are there for a reason. Man, Filipino women are very diminutive. They're so tiny, dude. They're like all 4'9" and 80 pounds. Like, did you feel like Godzilla walking around Manila, or what's the deal?
So you're asking me about the temperature?
No, that like what was it, when you first landed there? I said that's one thing I've noticed. Is
Yeah.
the community of Filipinos. What is the besides the temperature? What is when you first land over there? What were things you noticed? They're like, wow. Fuck.
So I never heard any good stories about the Philippines, right? So you automatically land expecting the fucking worst, right? So everything is the worst. But what I found, because I was diving, I did a lot of scuba diving, right, when I was out there. What I found that, the further away you got from the military, the better the people were, right? There was it was almost like a stain that the bases had on the surrounding community, right? Like, why do bars and brothels prosper near a military base? Because guys that might get killed like to fucking drink.
Exactly.
I mean,
they like to drink and fuck.
I mean, it's a way, like I have people that I know that somehow disparage people in this country who receive government assistance. Like, I think that's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Because the amount of government assistance that we give to other countries funneled through fucking military bases is out goddamn rate. In the first Gulf War, right? The first bombs dropped on Iraq came from Barksdale Air Force Base. A plane flew all the way over from Louisiana to Iraq to drop fucking bombs on them. And you're going to tell me for some reason I got to have a base in fucking Saudi Arabia? Why?
Well, dude, look at Germany. All around
Germany.
Kaiserslautern and Ramstein Air Force Base.
But they haven't tried to take over the rest of the world in a long time.
Every
we don't need a base in fucking Japan.
We can let it go now.
Japan is just making our fucking cars and stereos. Why do we have to have bases
Dude,
there?
from World War II forward, every place we've had a skirmish in, we still got a base. There's still bases in Japan. There's still bases in Germany. There's still bases in Korea. There's still bases in freaking the desert. Because we're in the 18th term of the Eisenhower administration. Is what's
a little. I didn't mention this. Is that when my parents were together when I was young, I actually spent the first 2 school years of my life in Japan.
Nice.
Nobody tried to fucking kill me when I was there, ever. So I thought they were pretty good. I had a good experience.
No, were you at Osan or not Osan? Were you at Yokota?
Misawa. It was way up there. Because I told you my dad had that fucking job. So we were up in this radar tower bullshit. It's terrible.
So do you think your father will ever just break it down and tell you exactly?
So I've asked him several times, like, on your deathbed, will you tell me what you did? And he pulled me close and he said no.
I mean, I know a guy.
I mean, why? It ain't like you're.
I know. That's what I say.
Yeah, I know a guy who looked that up. I know a guy. If you really wanted to, but I probably lose my job, so we're not going to go there. But if we really wanted to go there, we probably could find it.
Are people engaged? Am I saying anything entertaining?
Oh, I mean,
I
most
don't
of the people at this point, we got a lot of people from the UK that were watching this. It's like 3:30 in the morning over there.
Really?
Yeah, we got like 15. We got like 30
Like they left the pubs and they're watching us?
Well, they go to the pubs and then they come back and they do what we're doing.
So
Is
that where you were a cop and then when you got back here you weren't, or
Where? Where?
well you were a cop in the military, right? Or,
Yeah.
So when you came back, was you not a cop?
Oh no, that's why I got out, man. Cops are terrible. When you
It's
work
not.
around cops and you see cops that have been a cops for a long fucking time, those people are terrible. Dude, when people tell you who they are, that's who the fuck they are, man. And sometimes it doesn't take that long to fall under the influence and do things that, you know what, you really just shouldn't be a fucking dick to people. That's one of the, well, but, I mean, I got an even longer story about one big reason why I'm not in there. It didn't stay in the Air Force, but, you know, the biggest thing is that I didn't want to be that person at the end of the day. You know?
It's such a group think kind of mentality, man. It's I mean, I was considered like a quote unquote rebel in the guard because I just if something was stupid, I was gonna say this is fucking stupid. Like we were in Iraq, they wanted to power wash the fucking pad.
First or second?
Second one. It was 2011. They wanted to power wash the fucking pad so they could put the K-loader in front of it so you could take a picture. I'm like, dude, it's about to fucking rain. There's gonna be a giant storm. This is a complete waste of resources in the water. I'm not fucking doing this. Like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm guarding. And they were like, okay, whatever. And somebody went out there and it's fucking 8 hours later, fucking sure enough, fucking chocolate mud baths come from the sky in terms of rain and sandstorms. That's exactly right. But it's like fucking. It's just the rules for the sake of rules really got to me. It's a shock I did 20 years, man. But I learned how to manipulate and learn how to.
Well, you know how to work with it.
Exactly. Like Homer Simpson always said, you can't, get rich by the system, learn how to exploit the system, So it's when you're in the military, it's like, you don't get rewarded for. I mean, you still want to do the mission. If there's a core mission, you're always about the core mission. Like,
I'm not there because I don't want to,
Exactly. When you're in the service, you're always there for the main mission. So if there's like a serious thing going on or a giant conflict, you are 100% going to be focused on that time, and everything to go. But if there's a lot of downtime in the service, and there's a lot of people who think that you got to hang out and do work for the sake of work. I just didn't vibe with that, man. So it's like, I want to sit in the fucking break room and just chill for a while and talk instead. Oh, let's go out here and retrain. No, I already know how to work the forklift.
So,
this is waste my fucking time.
So when I was in the Philippines, I like to go diving. I said that earlier.
We used to shit.
We used to work 6 days on, 3 days off. And but if you took a class, I worked from 9 at night to 5 in the morning. But if you took a class during the day, you could take the day off, right? So if I got off work, took class at 8 o'clock that ended at 9 o'clock, I would be free the rest of the day. I didn't have to work at 9 o'clock at night, right? I got a whole extra day. So I wanted to go diving with some buddies. We were going to travel out. And so I decided to take a class, pallet loading.
That's my career field was air transportation.
Pallet loading?
Yeah, well, pallet loading is part of it.
So if I take this class, it's like an hour and a half. I get pallet loading certified. I'm like, fucking A, I got the certificate.
So you're just walking around gathering certificates.
Yeah, so I got the certificate so that I could leave to go diving right afterwards, right? I'd be out there fucking diving by noon in the fucking ocean. You know what that's like? It's fucking awesome. That's why I did that. And so then the Gulf War starts. There's all these people. We didn't send anybody. There's 2,500 cops in the Philippines on Clark Air Base. 2,500. I am one of 2,500 people. And so then they say, the war goes on, we build up, and then the war happens, and it's going. And then Clark says, we should probably get in. Let's send some fucking people over there, right? So 2,500 cops, and they call out, hey, Airman Wene, we need you to report to, Desert Shield training. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That's fucking crazy. Why me? And they're like, says here you're pallet loading certified. We don't have anybody else in the whole law enforcement organization that's pallet loading certified. You're going to have to report to duty. So we do 2 weeks, all this fucking training and shit, right? Gas masks and fucking getting shots.
Right, start briefings and shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucking crazy. And then we get on a plane. Oh, before we got on the plane, I got to tell people like, hey, don't put that there. Put that over there. All right, thank you. That was my pallet loading certification. I put it to use. Told people where to put their shit. And then we get on the plane and they're like, looks like the war is over. Pull back into the terminal now.
So Desert Shield breaks out.
Yeah,
they call you up to go through 2 weeks of training. You get ready to go, and the war's over.
Yeah, and then as soon as we get on the plane, it's fucking over. I'm like, is this for real? Are you fucking shitting me? So that was as close as I got to it.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. But yeah, I was. We were talking about random certifications getting in trouble. So, in 1998, we're at McCord Air Force Base up in Washington State, outside Tacoma, and we're just getting all kinds of random shit put on our license. You know, buses and shit. And the training consists of you get in the vehicle, pull it off, back it up, whatever, and they'll just check it off your license. So I get the 45 passenger bus on my license. Never drive the fucking thing. Don't even think about it. Don knows the story. I told him before. So we're down in Operation Jumpstart. I was telling you about earlier down in Arizona. It was a border operation that President Bush authorized to do. We had a tiny fence and they were going to secure it and shit. It was a different era back then. It was 15 years ago. So we go down there and I have a 45 passenger bus on my license. Like, hey, Pharrell, you going to drive this bus? I was like, okay, fuck it. Because I had been driving this box truck around. And we're at Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport. And this Army Guard unit comes in from Wisconsin. And they're getting ready to go. They get on the bus. I'm like, all right, let's go. So I get in the bus because I had my license. I only drove it maybe a couple times. If you ever know Terminal 2 at Sky Harbor, there's a fucking right turn. It's a really hard angle to do it. We're not maybe 40 feet. 40 feet.
I've seen the pictures.
You've seen the pictures. Google, if you're out there in Google, if you're out there in Google, if you got your phone, just Google, Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport Terminal 2. You'll see what I'm talking about. 40 feet from the fucking terminal. I misjudged the fucking turn down the one-way ramp. Scraped the whole back of the bus up, dude. So we're sitting there stuck. Traffic's backed up behind me. Baby, whatever. We got out of the bus. And my Sergeant Talley was with me, Master Sergeant. So what we're going to do is start pounding out the fucking back thing so we can at least get the tire moving. He grabs the keys. We pull the bus over to the thing. Well, go ahead. This is pretty fucked up. Law enforcement's up there judging the situation. We're down here. We don't talk about law enforcement, okay? But we get the bus back to the base, file our reports and stuff. Ended up costing the government, it's a minuscule amount in hindsight what shit costs now, but $7,500 because of that. And I had to watch an Army safety video. And the funny thing was,
Army safety video.
Yeah, because it was an
It had to be short.
It was considered an
I don't know
Army.
why you bitch about that.
No, man,
You fucked up. The end.
Yeah, they'd be like, "You do this, you dead, dumb."
Well, I'm actually not complaining about the punishment. The punishment was just watch this Army safety video.
The fucked up thing is there's a picture of Joe and he's like right by the fucking thing that it's the whole fucking side of the bus and he's just like,
so the Army safety video, they didn't tell me what video I had to watch. It was just like a fucking whole deck of tapes. So I just popped one tape in and watched it. I didn't even know what tape it was. It was a random tape I watched. It was
Joe went in for fucking wrecking a bus and here it's
They were like,
fucking.
"This is how you clean the bowling alley floors."
No, but we had to take pictures and send it to the Army. I did it with my camera, but there's one picture of me going like this by the damage. I'm just thumbs up smiling, and we sent that in with the thing. They're like, "Yeah, can you please remove that one picture of the soldier smiling with the thumbs up? We don't want that in the package you sent up to the command guys or whatever." But yeah, that was
The commander would have looked at me like,
the bus
this
after that.
fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was I should bring up a picture now that I was talking about. Let me see if I can find it. Here, hold on. Facebook.
You know what is a great segue? Talking about cooking with Scott.
Ooh, that's right.
Yeah, we got all
That is, yeah. I mean, we went fucking way
dark
off.
shit.
Really, I want to pimp my shit. If
So what made you start doing cooking with Scott?
Dude, my father-in-law. It's crazy. So I'm watching TV one day and I'm flipping through the channels and there's this show called Cooking with David, right? And my father-in-law's name is David. But if you leave my father-in-law alone for like 10 or 15 minutes, he will literally just open up a can of food and eat right out of the can. That's what he does. And so I said, man, that'd be funny if that was you, David, because that show would only be like a minute long. And I went, hey, I think I could fucking do that show. And so then that's how I started. I mean, it was really to just kind of play a joke on my father-in-law. But then it's so easy to film. It's so easy to edit. And it's amazing how many people come up to me and give me ideas for that show.
Well, it's such a simple. Before we get into the fully cooking with Scott, and we're going to definitely show the picture from Phoenix. In the show thing, one chilling and grilling and Mojo. Somebody out there, if you're a mod, can you link the channel in the comments? But it's below in the description. So please subscribe to the channel. He hasn't fully developed it yet, but subscribe to the one I linked in it. But yes, so how?
Dude, I am definitely haphazard. right? I'm like catch as catch can.
He's very much like how we do things, Joe's whatever, turn the cameras, start talking. There's a lot more preparation, and I'm not as fucking stupid as a lot of you people think. You know what I mean?
Joe has to travel all the way to Michigan to buy weed.
Exactly.
Dude, it's calculated, strategic.
I'm like a fucking assassin out there.
That's
thinking,
right.
I think your guests' comments. I don't just bring anybody. This guy, he's known and he's funny. The funny thing is, he has more of a southern twinge to his voice
That's
than I
right.
anticipated than he was coming out. I mean, us and our strong, booming Midwestern Great Lakes voices. It's a little different thing coming here with Mr. Scott Wene. And I didn't know how to pronounce. I didn't know if it was Wene or Wene. So that's why I had to ask him. That's why I emphasized, hey Scott. When I first started to show up.
That's fine. That's perfect.
And so you just basically cut the air fryers, whatever, man, and just do it.
Well, I think air fryers are stupid.
Isn't air fryer just the fucking the oven kind? I mean, what's the deal with those things?
Up in the oven.
It really is, right? It's really not even that. Like, I get offended by the people that try to defend them. They're like, we spent money on an oven when we have an oven, and
We got a small
but
oven.
this one sits on the counter. Well, who fucking cares, man? I mean, you have a deep fryer. That's why deep fryer. It doesn't fry anything. It's a fucking oven. It's a convection oven. It's a marketing ploy that people just buy into and spend a bunch of fucking money on. They're like, oh, well, it makes our food healthier. You're eating fucking mozzarella sticks. Don't fucking talk to me about healthier. You're frying fucking chicken wings in it. Chicken wings aren't healthy. Look, I know that because I eat the fuck out of chicken wings.
When we first started the show, we did wings every week. Remember that? It was so good. We never did give a new one. We never did follow through with that. Well, the idea was when we first started, we'd have wings of the week, and every week we tried different chicken wings. We did it. We had a score sheet and everything. And like 16 weeks we did, and we ended up crowning a winner. I can't remember if it was Beat Ups or Wingstop or something like that, but we totally forgot. But yeah, wings are good, man.
I love wings, right? But if I'm gonna have fucking wings, if I know I'm gonna have something that's bad for me, I want it to be as bad for me as possible.
Right, you might as well go all
Right.
in. Don't just stick
Fucking
around.
deep fry it. And I feel really bad using this language in front of your.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. But you know what? I'll tell you, just like I told my sister, if you don't want them to hear this shit, get them the fuck out.
That's right.
These hurt way worse.
Yeah,
Just
I'm
on
sure.
the show alone.
But yeah, I just, But anyway, I like the show because it's simple, it's fun. I just did an episode at Beer Fest downtown at Progressive Field. That was fun. Did you go to that?
I did not. I'm not a drinker, so I don't really do the beer stuff. I mean, if I can.
Really?
If I can smoke weed around it, I'll do that. Like Browns games, I still go to. Because what I'll do is I'll just smoke at the tailgate, and then when we go to the game, I'll just eat gummies. And just get out like that. But down at when we went to the Bengals game down in Cincinnati last year, I just brought in some cookies, right, some weed cookies, and then I had one of those Dippin' Dots, those Dippin' Dots shakes you get. And I just crumbled up the weed cookie and mixed it in there, and so I had a weed cookie shake when I was at the Bengals game. It's fucking amazing. They got so fried in the Bengals game.
Dude, that's a fucking episode of Cooking with Scott.
Joe
right there.
will get
Do
you.
you
fucked
crumble
up.
just crumble it in the Dippin' Dots?
Just take a regular
Is
edible.
Dippin' Dots like tall like this?
Yeah, it's like imagine a Starbucks cup about yay big, and then it's just Dippin' Dots filled in it. That's the way the one I had at least was. And you just crumble the cookie up, mix it up, and it's nice dessert, and it gets you fried as shit. Because ask anybody who's had my edibles, it's that's why they call me
Joe will get you fucked up for real.
Yeah, you get high. I know we don't like talking weed.
Last summer we went around. Never mind.
Hell yeah, we get fucking high.
No, last summer we went around giving random people that didn't fucking do edibles for cookies just to see how the fuck they would react.
You're pretty high. Some people end up in the hospital. It was some fucked up shit.
Hospital? Seriously?
They like 2-3 people in
You
emergency
get-
room.
You
bro.
can only get so
Liable?
high before you get super paranoid.
The one chick thought her arm was missing, bro. The arm's not there. I'm like, it's there. I'm like, it's right here now. Hold up. And then she would just keep going around like
I
that.
was always amazed. Like, I never did anything in the military, right? I was clean as shit. I was caught.
How many times you get drug tested in your 4 years?
Twice.
That's not bad. In my 20 years, probably about 4 or 5. It's every couple of years or so. Some people, man, they get it fucking 8 times a year. I think it's just your luck and the way you hang out. I don't think it was random. Like they say it was a random drug test. It's like, oh, how come this guy with this fucking hair part down the middle gets fucking 5 drug tests a month? And Balding McBalderson never gets drug tested, So.
No, I got tested twice, I think, but I didn't do anything. I mean, there were guys all around me doing everything, but
Back then, they used to do. Well, I mean, the drug testing kind of the 80s was kind of when it was implemented. Because you talk to any older, the 70s and before, it's fucking they just smoke weed all the time in the service. Dude, they go out there in the fucking drop zone, just fucking pipe up, and because nobody drug tested. And then Reagan came in, they had like an amnesty period where they said, okay, if you're addicted to drugs, you can declare now and get out and honorable. And then like point four is like 83 forward. They everybody was subject to randoms and shit like that.
Yeah, so we had that, but it was so I was already used to drinking. We didn't have to worry about like getting illegal shit. We just could go get beer or liquor or whatever we wanted. And then I went in the military, and you could still do the same thing. And then I went to the Philippines, and fuck, you could get drunk and have dinner, maybe for like $20.
It's awesome. It's a good price.
And then get a drive home and live safely in your bed. I mean, it was fucking nice, right? And I remember the first time I went to a bar when I came back from the Philippines, and I was like, "Hey, let me get a bud." And they were like, $3.50. And I was like, "Are you fucking out of your mind? $3.50? Jesus Christ!"
In the Philippines,
I haven't paid more than a quarter for a fucking beer in 2 years. They make it so easy for you. So.
Well, they were just starting to get rid of that when I got in because like you'd have the enlisted clubs, you can go there, 75 cents a beer. I mean, half the time the shit was like in Korea in 04, they had it was called the tip of the spear. They called it the tip. That's the name of the club. I'm not kidding. It was called the tip.
It was just the tip.
It was called the tip.
Just the tip.
It wasn't called just the tip. It was called the tip.
But just the tip.
Just the tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you could get like people would just go in there. They get the card. They call them tip cards. You'd have 30 beers you could punch out. People were just like, hey, I want to max out my card. And the next 30 people would drink for free. So you just go up, hey, oh yeah, somebody's got an open tip card, and you just get beers. So I mean, by 7 o'clock, you're fucking lit. Every day's like this. Every day. Because Korea was an unaccompanied tour. So, you get over there, and it's this giant fucking drinking and breakfast. You know how it is over there. It's ridiculous. Don't even watch a show like Army Wives because it'll fuck you up. It's probably true.
Yeah, I just I didn't like being a cop, and some weird things happened when I left the Philippines, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
So immediately leaving the service in 92-ish, did you go to college after that? Did you use your GI Bill?
Yeah, I tried to. I was really bad at it. Wasn't really good at college.
Where'd you try to go? Back up here in Ohio?
There's like a fucking community college in Louisiana. I was working at this video store, mom and pop video shop, which meant we had a back room on it. Yeah, so that was fun.
So then, when did you get back to Ohio? What year was that?
97.
97. Right?
Moved up here for work. I was into computers. It was before Y2K, and like I could go in and be like, "What kind of coffee is this?" I'm out, and then I would go get another fucking job, right? And then Y2K happened. No planes, not one fucking plane fell out of the sky, and then things went to shit after that. So
then it's that bubble burst.
yeah.
So is that what drew you into comedy? How'd you get into comedy? How old were you when you first got into comedy? Was it recent?
Yeah, recent. So I always wanted to be a comedian. This is a terrible story. I hate telling downers, right?
Hey, we're degenerates.
Yeah,
Mojo, have a good weekend, Mojo. Take it easy, bro.
Wanted to be a comedian. I was like 10. My grandmother asked me what I wanted to be, and I said a comedian. She was like, "That's dumb." And then that fucked me up for like the rest of my life. My middle daughter, Caitlin, one day she said, we were watching some comedy thing. She's like, "I can do that," and I was like, "All right, I'm gonna fucking sign us up for some classes." So we took the Dave Schwenson's class, and that's what I did. That was the first time I did anything, and it was I had a good time. And
See,
then,
I've always wondered about that though. Go into that class. Do you think it helped you?
yeah.
Now, did you have like stage fright? I mean, what was your major comedic issues when you first came out? Was there any stage fright issues?
No,
it
it wasn't. It really wasn't because the job that I had then and previously was I was going around giving presentations on electronic medical records to the C-level suites of national hospital organizations. And so you kind of get used to being in front of people and speaking in that way. I mean, there's a crutch because you have a fucking PowerPoint behind you.
Right,
But,
nobody's looking directly at you.
Right. You know, there's
Oh,
no, you know, the information that you give is very, you know, cut and dry, right? This many hospitalizations, that kind of shit. You know, but I was still used to talking in front of people. So when I went up the first time, I was like, I'm just gonna fucking do this. So, and I always enjoy a new experience, which is why when you said, "Hey, would you like to come out?" I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want to come out. I want to hang out with you guys."
I say immediately though, if you go up there, you either know whether you like it or not from the very first time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, if you go out, nobody who's still doing it goes out there and bombs. I mean, you got to at least have like a 5 out of 10 on the scale.
Dude, I can
for
name
show.
3 comedians right now that bomb every time they are on the stage.
Well, I mean, we're talking.
Ooh, write those down. Don't say them out loud. Write those down.
Yeah, we'll get into some scuttlebutt after the show. But well, yeah, I mean,
That's the paid
but
version.
yeah, that's if you there's a Patreon out there somewhere. Don't even fuck with
yeah,
it.
we ain't plugged that shit in like 2
Yeah,
years.
well, it's a waste of time. I'm not gonna waste people's time and get, hey, go out there and I'm gonna give you I'm gonna waste 20 minutes of the show and you gotta click on this link and give me $1.50. I ain't got time for that.
No, because there's 2 schools of thought to it: going to the class and learning how to write a joke, or going on a stage and literally just going, "Fuck it, let's figure this out."
So the classes, Dave really gives you kind of not so much how to write a joke or to how it should be structured, right? He doesn't give you any of that. He gives you his experience in the industry, right? He tells you how to operate within the industry so that you can make yourself a desired commodity, right? Because really, you know, at the end of the day, it's a job.
Yeah.
You know, you can look at it in a professional way or, hey, I'm gonna fuck around kind of way. Either way, it's still a job. You get booked. Whether or not you get paid, that means somebody wanted you to come out and do that, and it's kind of professionalism. So he teaches you that side of it, but he also gives you feedback on the stuff that you present. It's really insightful. Like, he didn't help me write any of my jokes. In fact, half the shit I did the first 2 days, he was like, "That's the worst shit I've ever heard in my life." Right?
Your jokes fucking suck. You should leave this.
Exactly. He's like, "I don't know why you're here." But honestly, you know, you have to take that upon yourself, and you have to craft your shit down so that. But there was one thing I didn't want to do the first time I went on stage, and that was forget. Right? I didn't want to forget.
But you're not.
You
can't avoid that.
So I practiced and practiced. I knew everything I was going to say, man. I could time everything fucking down to that. So no matter what, if I went up there, it would all be muscle memory. And that's what I did. But goddamn, it is so fucking addictive, man. That is the most addictive thing.
Getting the crowd entertained when I see the number go up, or you get feedback from the show from guests you have. And you get it's an elixir that makes you want to just keep doing more. You know?
I mean, in all honesty, some people are just meant to entertain.
Oh yeah. I mean, at the end of the day,
people are better at it. Yeah.
I mean, some people are funnier than others. I mean, it's in comedies. Everything in life is subjective. I mean, like some people. Let's get in the next thing about this, but like clean comedy, I've argued with Mayo about not argue.
Oh fuck, we are not talking about clean comedy.
But what is this is why I really like YouTube controlling everything. Being total creative control is like for example, the Funnystop or something like that. You go down these shows, I can't say this. It's very handcuffing. And whilst I'm not going to go out there, say stupid shit just to get laughs. If I want to say fuck, I want to say fuck. I don't want to have somebody going, oh, you're not going to win this contest where the prize is, you win $0 and you get to come up again, give me free labor, because I can't fucking swear. You know what I mean? So it's like, what is your? I mean, should we? As artists, because we are artists, we're painting people's ears with fucking beautiful, funny shit. You know what I mean? We're not fucking Picasso painting, shit like that, but we're painting your ears with fucking great entertainment every night, every Friday night live on YouTube. Sorry, later the show gets, we get more high and sometimes forget that shit. And we talk about forgetting jokes, man. I'm a forgetting motherfucker, bro. I don't remember. That's this motherfucker, bro. I do not remember shit. I get up there, the one time I put my whole fucking 5-minute act in a fucking the audio reader, like the text to speech. I sat there working. I just listened to it over and over and over. I was like, all right, I'm gonna memorize this shit. And I must have played like 100 times. I get up there and I just totally still forgot it. I just totally forgot the fucking jokes.
Really?
Yeah, I just have. My problem is, I mean, back then I would drink, but I mean, when you're on the weed, you can't really. When you're on the weed, but when you smoke as much weed as I do, it's you get funny shit coming through your head. And you can say it, but it's like just having a set and memorizing it. It's just not going to happen. And my problem is that when I started initially, is I would always picture an audience in my head before I would go up there. It's like, oh, when I get up there, there's going to be this person over here, and I would cater a set to an audience. And then I get there, you know, the audience either is there, then the people that wasn't going to vision aren't there. You know what I mean? It's all either my friends, the people who heard my act before. So it's like, well, fuck, I can't tell that joke now because there's nobody to bounce it off of. So it's like, that's when I found YouTube, and it's like, okay, I can just say whatever the fuck I want. All I can do in my garage. I ain't got to fucking buy no drinks or fucking overpriced nuggets or anything like that. Pretend like they like me here. Fuck, I can smoke weed too. Shit. Sign me the fuck up.
So I think the biggest obstacle in getting on stage is that stage fright, right?
But
I think
More than likely, yeah.
yeah. You know, it's that fear of getting in front of people, and then it's compounded because you have to get in front of people, which if you're delivering like a speech for a PowerPoint, you have that crush, right?
right.
And you're not, the only intention there is to spread information. And you know how entertaining spreading information has to be? None, right? Not at all, right? But when you get up there and the intention is you have to entertain people and you have to, touch their emotions
You
in a
gotta
way
be
that makes
funny,
them laugh.
or
Right.
you've got to.
Then that puts pressure on you. So what I do to relieve that pressure is constantly review everything that I'm going to do. So like everything I say when I'm up there, I've already practiced 10,000 times because I have the obsessive compulsive.
Now, right, I don't have a joke
And-
order. Like
No?
you'll get the same first joke, you'll get the same last joke, and then you'll get the same sign off. But everything in between those three things, I just kind of let it go.
I have everything written out, and I have like a 2-word topic for it.
Like a trigger, like an outline.
Yeah, 2 words.
I was
right?
just write. Lately, my last several shows, I just do an outline, right in my arm or something. Just one is the
See that I hate.
card joke.
And then what I'll do
You have to have it
is
in your
then-
head. You can't go looking at your arm. That fucking pulls the crowd away.
Once I've already, I already know the jokes and I know the triggers, then I just have to remember the triggers in order. And that like cuts down the amount of time that I need to prep for any one given show.
For sure, because
I had it-
once you get one word of your joke,
Right.
exactly.
I've got, a set, one of the things I hate to do is like run a light, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to be known as somebody who runs a light. So I've got a 5-minute set, I got a 10-minute, 8-minute, 7-minute. If I get the light, I know exactly how much time I have before I have to hit that spot and get the fuck out.
Right. So do you like? What are these mics? Do you? Some people go, oh, if you talk in front of 5 people, you're still growing. I don't really think that's growth because you're like,
Really?
you don't get the reaction. It's all about audience feedback and reaction. So if you're just, you're getting the practice of being up on stage and stuff like that, but it's like, if
I
I'm up
would
there-
rather have an open mic with 5 people in the crowd that are there to laugh.
Oh, if they're there
Than
to
a
laugh,
room
that's
full
a
of
different story.
motherfuckers who do not care that you're there.
Well, that's true. That's a different story. But I'm saying, just like in general, like if you're at a mic in in say you're at TikTok or something, there's 5 comedians there in the crowd. They're not gonna laugh at your fucking jokes.
No comedian's gonna laugh at another comedian's joke because that comedian thinks that they're funnier than the next motherfucker. That's the whole point. Like I will laugh at your jokes. I will go and laugh at your jokes because I don't care.
I haven't
There's a
experienced
lot of haters out there, man. But
Really?
Yeah, he doesn't like
that.
Lakewood.
Like I know there's
I don't do Lakewood comedy for that very reason.
Maybe it's just
I find them all to be all pretentious douchebags.
No.
maybe it's just the Lakewood vibe that comes out there. But it's like they will. They're not going to overtly hate you, but it's like because I'll do.
And I don't mean that as every comedian. I mean that as in
an
the
environment,
clusters that
like,
Yeah, it's
So
like
I-
it's
so
like there's that
there's-
wokish vibe over it. Like I'll do a joke about the Chief Wahoo or something, and it's like so. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know.
well, here's the way I look at that. It's like I don't do well in Lakewood. I don't. Like I love Jimmy Killius. One of my favorite. He's so fucking hilarious, right? I laugh at all his shit all the time. I love that guy. I can't do LVT because I feel, and this may or may not be validated, but I feel that the kind of stuff that I do, like I have a wife, I have a house, I have kids. I have all this kind of shit. Like, I don't know that plays over very well. And so,
So you're thinking
I
it's
am
an
not-
economic
I-
or social disconnect?
No.
Just an
I
age
look-
thing, pretty much.
no. I look at it as comedy is, all right, y'all play that game Mortal Kombat, right? Everybody's got different fighting styles, right? So if your audience has this fighting style, you need a fighting style to kind of counteract that. And I'm not able to develop that kind of fighting
That's
style
true. It's very true.
to bring that kind of audience into me. And that's really what it's about. That's how you, I think, measure success. I do great at Funnystop. I do great at crowds that are older, right?
You would have killed it at BFW show. You'd have
Oh
loved it.
yeah,
You'd have
yeah.
loved
I
that
mean, I
show.
went up to
Oh,
the
yeah.
BFW show and just shit all over the Marines, right? Fuck 'em. Because
God bless
anyway.
you, Marines.
Yeah, God bless you. Thank you for
Semper Fi.
catching those bullets for us.
We're back. Gun ho, gun ho, gun ho.
But no, seriously, man. No matter where, if you bomb, it's not. I look at it seriously. 5 people, and at TikTok, I love Steve Peters, so I'll tell you about that later. But that's on you, man. You need to take that as an opportunity to figure out what psychological triggers hit that audience that you have. That's on you. That's your challenge. If it was fucking easy, we'd all have Netflix specials.
No, for sure. But I think the open mic culture, I think, where it's 60 to 90% of the audience is other comics. I think it's very self-deprecating for a lot of people. Like you get up there and and you'll see people who just damn well 100 years you're not gonna fucking ever make it, and this audience is just never gonna laugh at their jokes. And it's just that you've seen somebody up there who you know is gonna bomb and just doesn't have no reason to be in a comic. That just depresses the whole audience, and that just sets a whole vibe for a low thing going on, man. I think the main thing about stand-up is I hate repetition, dude. Like, I can't. I mean, could I do the same act over and over again? I could. But, man, I mean, 50, somebody, like, say, a guy like fucking, Jay Moore goes on tour or some shit, and, he has an hour-long special. He's doing that same act 30, 40, 50, 100 fucking times to memorize
Yeah,
it.
but look, let me tell you something. If you gave me fucking $200 a night to tell the same fucking jokes,
I'm telling them the same.
you'd have to give me $100 to fucking stop.
I
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, if I got a $200 set,
Not only that, you get to a smooth spot with your set where it's just
right, I'm in, man. That's just a fucking. So look, I used to have when I first started. I don't know shit, right? I don't, but I had people all the time when I would try to get them to come out because when you first start, it's easy to get people to come out.
because everybody wants to see
Right.
you fail.
They want
Exactly.
to,
And that's
well,
what people don't realize. Everybody's there to watch you fall flat on your
but they
fucking
want to
face
see
and
something
bomb.
new. Every time that if they
Oh,
have
yeah,
to come
something
out, they
for
want to
sure.
see something new.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they would always ask me if I had something new. Then I would say, hey, look, I'm like a songwriter. This 5-minute bit, that's my fucking song. That's the only fucking song I got right now. I just started writing songs. So, if you want to come out and see the same fucking song, I'm going to do it as best as I can.
Right, and a lot of people don't realize it takes time for it.
I
Having a
love
joke is
seeing
like
new
having a baby. You have
comedians
to
that
nurse
have
it along.
that have a big fucking audience. I'm like, we'll see how long that lasts. Because like I don't invite a lot of people to my shows, right? I really don't.
Well, I mean, after
Because
a
I
while,
work
it's
on
the same.
shit.
Well, it's the same. I mean, there's the same 50 people look at the same 50 flyers at the end of the day. A lot of the
Right.
It's not that any of the people are bad, but if say I've seen your act 6 times, I'm not going to go see it the 7th.
Dude, I can do. Okay, so John Brown. You know John Brown?
Yeah.
Love John Brown. One of my favorite. I talk to fucking John Brown every day. I could do his act. I could repeat it, right? It wouldn't be
I was like
the
that with Bill
same.
Squire for a while because I was over to the East End mics and shit. I know fucking Edith Squire's jokes.
Yeah, but I love it. I can do that because I love the things that he says. So, and I value his.
Not only that, when you're on a show with somebody and you're on multiple shows with that person, you get to learn that. You get to,
Right.
You know that material. All right, this is his in joke or.
Everybody that I have been around, I have learned something. Something, one thing or another, and it may be small, it may be fucking huge, but like Jimmy Graham. One day, okay, so I hosted for Bill Squire at the Funnystop. Worst fucking show ever. You want to talk about bombing and wanting to fucking quit? Both nights. goddamn terrible.
When you get off and you go, motherfucker,
Yeah, like,
why am I doing this?
I actually saw Bill Squire in the back looking at Pete going, I mean, that's fucking terrible, right? But you learn from that shit, man. That's how you grow. And you take that, and you eat that big bowl of dicks, and you just say, thank you. Can I have another dick?
Yep. And you just
And
keep
then,
going.
if you want to keep doing it, you keep doing it. You keep eating those dicks, and you go. And sometimes you have a great night, and sometimes, you know, eat that bowl
I
of
always
dicks.
like studying the comedian's background and see where they come from. Yeah, I mean, like see who's a teacher. There's a lot of teachers.
There are a lot of teachers in
People
comedy.
don't know that. Like, if you see a female comedian, and we're not supposed to say that we're female. So if you see a woman comedian or comedian, whatever the fucking nomenclature is, 50% chance she's probably a teacher because there's a lot. They get a lot of
Well, you know
material from
why?
their students for sure.
Because they're in front of their students. It's
It's a natural transition.
It's a natural step,
yeah,
right?
it's still an audience.
Mhm.
If
If
they're
you're a
3
history
years
teacher,
old, or 5 years old, or if you're having sex with them in college.
right? If you're out there and
Whatever
you're
that is.
teaching iambic pentameter to fucking sixth graders, you got to make that entertaining. Or they're gonna fall asleep and fucking, not get it. Same thing with fucking audiences. I think start off. If I was recommending the comic to come out, start off with a bigger audience. Don't try to work your way in. Let me start off with a small tiny mic. Start off with a bigger mic, and that way you get exposed. You know what I mean? 'Cause that way you.
Well,
That's the way I like. Because my
No,
first
because then everybody's watching you eat fucking shit in front of them.
well,
You got to
no,
get those
no,
first
so-
couple shows where you just have like 5, 10
Well, I mean,
people.
it depends on your level of comfortability with people. You know what I mean? Some people aren't really comfortable talking in front of people. So they
My
gotta get
first
the
show,
stage
I got through in a room full of people in Shaker Heights.
My first was Easton. I liked the Easton was.
I didn't eat shit either. I actually did all right, but you could tell it was the first time. You get what I'm saying? You
Right.
definitely don't want a room full of people.
I was like
Really?
the bigger
No,
room concept.
so-
Yeah.
My first time was at the Improv on Dave Swinchen's show.
Oh,
And I
yeah. Is it your
invited-
graduation class?
Oh yeah. I mean, look. So, but
But that,
so here's what happens with that, right?
Mhm.
So it was a great room. Those people, like you said, they were there to laugh, man. They're there to. They know it's your first time up, man. You could take a shit on the stage, and they'd be like, "Holy God, that's the best shit I've ever seen in my life!" Right? They're there to support you. Those people love you. That's why they came out and spent that money to see you, right? And then you go to TikTok.
It's like the fucking.
And I love Steve Mers for
was you doing it when the 5 o'clock lounge was around?
no. I went from the Improv to the TikTok, and Steve Mers put up with me and let me go up there and do what I needed to do and feel the way I needed to feel, and that helped me try to write things that were better. So
Dude, I went to the TikTok one. I know
Steve Mers is an all right guy.
yeah,
he's sarcastic as fuck.
I love it.
You have to learn how to take him. Like when I
Right,
first
right, right.
started out, I
He-
didn't know how to take
He
that.
can be an abrasive.
Once I learned how to take him, he's an all right
He
guy.
can be an abrasive dude. He has a very out there personality for sure. But I went there and watched it with a friend, and this one I didn't sign up. I was just watching it just to get the vibe of the room. It is. I feel like you're going into a dungeon, man. It's all that back room and shit. But this black dude gets up there, tells this joke. He's like, "Well, I got this joke. It might be a little offensive." He's like,
Was he the first person up there?
"Yeah, he was like the first or
Was
second
it
person."
Dave Sheldon?
Oh man, no. It was there was do you know a girl named Donna? She's in the comedian group. She has a puppet named
Oh, okay. I know
Nah,
what you're talking
yeah,
about.
I have not seen that.
yeah, it's
Don't
so
know that I'm upset.
man, so this guy's like, what do Down syndrome people use to cook? A slow cooker, and that was his joke, and I just shook my hand. I was like, "This guy's never gonna make it ever. This is so horrible." And they just looked around, and everybody's either on their phone rehearsing their set or just, "Oh my god, this is horrible." This
I
TikTok
was
is ridiculous.
I was hosting the open mic at Funnystop one night. It was around Christmas, right? And Pete had all these Christmas decorations and shit, and nativity scene and shit like that up there. And this guy got up there and started talking this real racist shit, right? And I mean, like real racist.
All right, but you gotta identify that a little more.
No, I don't.
Real racist white, real racist black. Two totally
It doesn't
different
matter.
things.
It was some racist shit. It was racist in the way that when he got off the stage, I was like, "Hey, we got these Christmas decorations. Thank God David Duke didn't fucking light this cross on fire." Holy shit. It was not good. I mean, I don't need to go into
There's
it.
no room for that kind of
Well,
shit.
some people, they think that the shock value is just going to be the comedy.
I know, and it's not.
There's a certain basic level. You can't just get up there and start saying the N-word and think you're going to get laughs because people are going to. It's just not happening.
It's not right.
Right. Yeah. For one, it's not right. It's going to all have to be.
Now, I'll say outlandish shit. There's certain things I will not say.
Right. Obviously, you don't say the F word with the double G. You don't say the R word. You don't say the N word. I mean, it's just basic common courtesy. You won't say it in public. You don't say that. You can get away with saying, see you next Tuesday sometimes if you do it the right way.
Oh,
You got it in your set.
that's right. Oh,
I've got it in my set of
He
few
does.
times.
He says that shit a couple times.
Oh, and I always get a laugh with it too.
No, I don't ever say it.
Well, he always starts it out with something like, "Hey, you over there, you ever fucked a white guy or some shit?" And then
You've
later
never
on,
seen this joke?
couple days later, he'll come out with the fucking C.
No,
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I didn't see that one.
I like
it always goes over.
I like when
It
he
has
points out-
never failed.
Really?
Absolutely.
One time I saw
Because it's just the way it's set
a
up.
57-year-old
I
woman.
pick out the only black lady in the audience. Or I'll go up to a random black lady if there's a black lady in the audience. And I'll be like, hey, you ever been with a white dude? And if she says no, I go, why? We're magically delicious. And it just snowballs from there. By the time I get cunning, you're so out of the loop that you don't realize I just got that word in. And you're already laughing.
It's called the Oop Tube. It's like the fucking the Fumblerski college football. Boy, we got fucking.
You've never
I've not heard that one. I mean, we've only been on a couple of shows.
That's true. He's I've only.
But I'm always friendly when I see you. I'm like, hey, man, what's up?
That's true. We need to get that fucking VFW show again. I gotta call those guys.
Yeah,
to not
you
smoke
gotta
weed
get
for
this shit
5
going.
minutes. Remember to not smoke weed for like 5 minutes, and then we'll figure this shit out. Because that's the problem.
You should set an alarm on your
Speaking of
phone.
which, I got a show tomorrow night.
Where's let's plug some shows. Where's your show tomorrow night?
I'm with Mayo over on
I've seen that. I've seen the
or East
advert.
93rd.
It's in
We're
Garfield
going back
Heights.
to the hood, so
That's in Garfield Heights, though. That's not the hood.
it's still the fucking hood. It's the east side.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Garfield Heights.
Garfield
Hold on,
Heights is
I'll give you the
sort of-
exact
I
location.
know it's on West 93rd. It's
ass.
like West 93rd Union or some shit, right?
I
Give
don't
me a
really-
minute.
I don't really know where the hood is.
Yeah, like you're the last one that we would ask for directions through the hood there, bro.
Look,
It is
yeah,
East 93rd in Cleveland, Ohio. That is about as hood as you can fucking get, Joe.
That's right on the edge of Slavic.
I live on 55th. Don't tell me, man.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so if you want to go to the hood and see Don perform with, I think Jen Jen's going to be there.
Jen, Tony
Mayo.
Mayo,
Mayo was funny as fuck, too.
Where's
Go see him.
East 93rd.
What's the name of the place?
Oh, dude, why are you asking me shit I don't know?
Dude, can I get a guess?
It is.
Because you know, nothing starts off a show better in the hood than an old white guy.
That's true.
I mean,
It's at Cheers. on
There's a
East
place
93rd.
called Cheers at East 93rd. Don's going to be there tomorrow, probably, what, 7 o'clock showtime?
8:30 showtime.
8:30 showtime. If you get there at 7 o'clock, you probably get a good seat, though. Order some Cavassier, dude.
Come watch me talk a bunch of bullshit.
Right, he'll talk about Cavassier. It's a good drink.
I'll be doing this joke that we were talking about.
And he'll talk about Cavassier. It's a good drink. So what show, you got any shows this week? Where are your shows coming out?
I do not have any shows this coming up.
Dude, with COVID, it is so sketchy right now.
Well, I mean, that doesn't really bother me too much, but like Wednesday, I think I'm doing something. I don't know. But Thursday, I'm actually going to go to Dave Schwenson's graduation.
Oh, they got graduation. Is that at the
Yeah.
Improv?
Do what?
Is that at the Improv?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a good friend of mine is Jenna Yenyo, and she won the Cleveland Comedy Open
Okay.
right before everything shut down,
Nice.
right? And then she has to take care of her family, and she's being a responsible person. She hasn't been out in a while, so she's taking the comedy class to get back in the swing of things, and
Nice.
going out there to see her. And then after that, I'm actually I really don't even know.
What season of, if you haven't subscribed to Scott's YouTube channel, check the description and subscribe, please look it up. What season of Cooking with Scott are you in?
Season 2.
Nice. How many episodes are in a season?
Well, usually, I mean,
Are you basing off
the first
Seinfeld?
one is
First one's
the
74.
first one is it's 10 episodes and like a bonus one.
Okay, so it's like a Seinfeld season 1 kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm never gonna do more than 10. I'm
Okay.
lazy as fuck.
Where can people send their ideas to you at?
Don't.
He's got
Seriously,
so
dude.
many ideas.
I've not had any good. Like,
That's
so
awesome.
Here's the thing. The show is exactly what it is, right? It's me eating something out of a can, right? Like, is there a simpler concept than that? No, there's not. But people don't understand how simple that fucking concept is.
Have you had spotted dick?
I've had that suggestion. I might have that.
You have to do that.
And but people always like, hey, you should get some a toaster, put some bread in, and then pull it out and do this.
That's the
and that. And
furthest
like,
away from
I'm
your
like,
actual
that's
concept.
fucking way complicated.
Well, I
There's
think
no way I'm gonna do
the
that.
beauty of your show is the simplicity. We got a compliment from Colin. He says you're a good man, Scott. So it's good. The beauty of your show is the simplicity, and you have to totally improv the whole thing, or else it loses its vibe. Like
It's one take, man.
right. If you go in there with, okay, here's my toaster, and I'm going to toast this bagel,
Yeah,
and then
everybody
take this
fucking does
American
that.
cheese and put this over in. No. If you want 45 seconds of shit out of a can, you come talk to Scott Wene and watch Cooking with Scott. He doesn't know when he drops the episodes. He probably drinks at home.
Cooking with Scott, shit out of a can.
Right.
So he just does it whenever. He's not like these creators who have, content that comes out every so often. He just does it whenever the fuck he feels like it. Doesn't care. That's a good vibe for you're looking for me. If you just want simplicity in life. Have you ever had those little cocktail meetings?
Oh, Vienna sausages?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah. I'll eat them.
Now, do you ever cook
I
the
grew
shit?
up in Louisiana. We used to eat fucking pigs feet and shit. I mean, Vienna sausage.
Have you ever cooked the shit out of a can, or is it always just straight out of the can?
No, it's right out of the can.
So, like spam, would you use spam right out of the can? Or would you
Oh, yeah, spam's not bad.
I love
Shit,
spam.
you've had an MRE.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, you've eaten spam.
that's true.
I mean, it doesn't matter what they fucking put on the label. The shit
It's
you ate is spam.
Dude, I like those. I like fried spam. Fried spam's the
It's
shit.
fuck you
fucking
and pretend.
delicious.
That's what
Oh,
it
it's
is.
delicious. Put mayonnaise on fried spam. Oh, that's a white man's dream right there. I mean, it's fucking
Dude, I would take spam, or my mom would do it. I don't know, I would do it too, but take fried spam and just put the American cheese over it and just melt it in basic fucking shit.
Oh, yeah.
But, so I don't think I have any, I don't definitely have any shows coming up. Next week, it's going to be either, I still haven't heard back from Norris Cole if he could do next week. It's either be Norris Cole or, what's that golfer's name? That said, yeah. So, Natalie Gulbis, one of those two, maybe. If not, then we're going to just, I don't know, we'll figure something out. But, yeah. We're about to, I'll tell you what, if you guys want to join the after party, I'm about to drop the link in the chat, and we'll go offline for a couple minutes, just have some fun times. Colin, I know you'll probably want to cam up for a little bit, but we're not going to go live too much longer because, yeah, we're at that point.
So what?
But thanks for coming out. Subscribe to Scott's channel. Subscribe to the
so.
STD podcast if you haven't already. Like the show if you haven't already. Thanks for everybody who came out. Thanks to Mr. Scott Wene, Mr. Don Shear. You can see him every day if you follow him on Facebook. And we'll talk to you next week, fellas. All right. See you on the after party if you want to join us. Bye-bye.
All right, y'all. I got